All right. Hello, good evening. Welcome to another live episode of the O&G StrikeZone. Bryan Fulford, Kelvin Rozier on location, an undisclosed location. And I'm in the home studio. And soon to be joining us later on in the show will be Marcus Green. Happy National Signing Day, Rattler Nation. Happy Black History Month. All that good stuff. How you feeling, Kelvin?
Who? Wakanda forever.
What is that?
That was a terrible rendition of some of the scenes
idea.
from Black Panther, man. But I'm doing well, brother. Doing great, man. Excited about the signing class.
Yep. Just getting got the last little tweet out here. I always like to do the tweet from Twitter once the show has gone live. So shout out to everybody who's already following us on the social media handles. There you can see it in the top left corner. If you're not already, please make sure you're following us on Instagram. We are streaming live on Instagram, on Twitter, via the Black College Sports Network, and our site at O&G StrikeZone, and on Facebook. So hello to everybody, wherever and however you're watching us. Of course, the O&G StrikeZone, part of the Black College Sports Network. So, of course, we say hello to all of our friends on the JBN Online, Jericho Broadcast Networks, Black College Sports Network page. And those of you who are watching us in all of those locations, so on and so forth. Yes, indeed, Kelvin. It is National Signing Day. Shout out to the athletic department staff, the graphic designers, everyone in the communication staff. Bravo job today with the graphics, with that right there, the National Signing Day. Excellent work. First class. A lot of stuff. I was actually excited as I'm reading the bios, and of course, if you have not, please make sure FAMU Athletics. We retweeted and posted on Facebook the Football Signing Day Central article. So everything, we're going to go through all of these amazing young men who are going to be joining Coach Quinn Fordham-Gray's staff or a team this year. And I'm looking forward to it. And we're going to break down. There's some outstanding guys here. A few surprises and a few late surprises, which, Marcus tracks this stuff, Kelvin. So when I came across a couple names that Marcus didn't even have, I was like, woo, I got really excited there for a second.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you have a staff that we have. They can find some hidden gems, some guys who maybe had options other places, and once they realized they had opportunity to come to FAM, because it's still a big brand, and with this staff, you get a couple.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. So we'll make sure to talk about all of that coming in here at the bottom of the hour. Let's get to let's go through the roll call. We missed the roll call last week because we had such a busy show. Appreciate everybody who was locked in, watching even the replays, listening to the podcast on the BCSN Pod Zone channel with Coach Beal, Coach Shoop, and then the Avengers last week. Excellent work. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Sweet. No Avengers this week, Sweet. We didn't symbol, we had everybody on last week for the schedule, and many of them will be watching. They'll be plugged in. I don't know. Who knows? And somebody may say, "Hey, can I come on?" And sure, whatever. But right now, we'll kind of. I caught a little flack for going 3:30 last week. I got some nasty text, got some nasty private text messages, and think, no, I'm just kidding. I didn't.
He sure didn't.
Nobody complained. That appreciate all of you guys for hanging in there. But no, we'll bring it. We don't want to overload that. We'll get that in. Marcus will be here in hour number 2, or somewhere in the middle of hour 2. I'm sure he's dealing with he's on low. He's dealing with business related stuff, family stuff. So he's got some other obligations, and so he will be here. He even left me in charge.
We got the slides.
He gave me the slide. He gave me access to the slides, and I actually updated them without screwing them up. So I hope I did it right. Because I'm like Marcus. I'm very sensitive about my ish. So I know he is. He does such hard work. I had to be careful not to mess anything up. So hopefully I did him proud. All right, let's go through the roll call and say hey to everybody who's joining the show. First up, gotta say hey to Kenneth Rozier for checking in early. Bull checking in. Good to see you. Also getting in early, Jimmy Mack. Excited about the recruiting class, indeed. Lots to be excited about. Melissa Wilson checking in.
Duh.
Good to see you. Dr. Wilson, good to have you in. Good to see Kelvin. Oh, yeah, that's you. Yeah, good to see you. Marvin Allen checking in. Welcome into all the new recruits. Great job. Meredith, good to see you, Meredith. Thank you for being a JBN subscriber. Ashton Harris. Ashton, thank you, man. Good to see you. Happy National Signing Day as well. Makiba, thank you for joining the show and being a JBN subscriber. JT in the house. DQ, Will, good to see you. Great day to be a Rattler indeed. Lil Baby checking in. All right, Lil Baby. Mary 305 checking in from South Florida. Thank you for being a JBN subscriber. Demetra as well checking in. Good to see you, Demetra. Marcus, another JBN subscriber. We appreciate you. B Starks in the A. Hopefully you guys have started to de-thaw up there, Marcus and Starks. Hopefully middle and, or I don't know, upper northern Georgia and middle Georgia. Hopefully you guys have started to de-thaw. Look, speaking of thawing out, shout out to area, check it out. Thawed out in the Carolinas. Amen. Good to see that. Good to see you. Gail, I don't know what's going on up in Cleveland, Gail. Good to see you, though, Gail. Thank you for being a JBN subscriber. They ain't serious about basketball up there in Cleveland, Marcus. Can't be. Not with that trade they just made. They can't be serious about basketball.
What did I miss?
What did you miss? Oh, Lord have mercy. What did you miss? I don't know. I hope they got some good clubs up there in Cleveland because the beard.
You talking about the Harden trade?
Yes. It was a horrible trade. Horrible.
I don't know. The small guards weren't working for him, so man, I have to watch that one.
Yeah, he's anyway. I'm not getting into that. Not a winner in my book. I don't want him on my team. I wouldn't want him. So you know, that's all right. Tamara T, thank you for being a JVN subscriber. Good to see you, Tamara. Zeke Love, what's good? Good to see you. Exactly. Happy National Signing Day. Very good. Exactly. We love what we have seen. Sweet checking in as well. Good to see you, Sweet. Hollow. Good to see you, Hollow.
Hello, Hollow.
Might have missed VM Matt. Oh, there we go. VM Matt checking in the Carolinas. Yep. Coach Beal and the softball team will be loading up 2 days away from the start of the softball season. We'll definitely give some updates. We saw some SWAC awards, preseason awards come out. Good to see a few Rattlers being recognized there by the SWAC. Surprised. Sometimes I want to say I'm surprised, but thankfully they recognize. So shout out to a few of the young ladies. We'll get to all of the SWAC preseason awards as the Rattlers will get ready to take on the preseason favorite in the MEAC, Howard. Great way to open up the season. Howard is the preseason favorite in the MEAC. Kerry Daniels, good to see you, Kerry. Thanks for checking in. Yeah, there's a couple of schools that got us on the schedule for homecoming. I don't know if it's any coincidence. Those schools came to Tallahassee and put up 40 burgers on us.
Well,
and now I guess they feel some kind of way.
Well, I think I've heard Rattler say this before. We don't lose homecomings.
That's what they say.
Ours, yours don't matter. We don't lose homecomings.
That's what they say.
Check
the records. Check the records. Check the stats. Check the stats. But we'll get into talking about that also as well. Who knows? It's much ado about nothing, but it is something because
we're gonna make it something.
Exactly, we're gonna make it something. I don't know if it could have been avoided, but you got what you got, and now you got to deal with us.
Alabama State got one home game in October, so
is Jackson, right?
Yeah, they didn't really have a choice.
Yeah, but it just kind of worked out. Where now you're gonna get to hear from us. So yeah, exactly. Joel Banks, thanks for checking in. Checking in from Bowie, Maryland. Good to see you. All right, Troy's coming in. Them eyebrow bets. He must be feeling very good after seeing this recruiting class that's coming in, boy.
All right, don't get in trouble, Troy.
Troy's betting other people's eyebrows, man. I bet yours and his. That's what I'm feeling confident. Let me see. Dwayne Black.
What's going on, Dwayne?
Yeah. Good to see you.
Mid-South Georgia finest.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Alice McCullough checking in from the 561 in Palm Beach. Good to see you.
I ain't too far from you.
Dwayne, you know what? I would love that. There is a photo that I have. If you go back and look at the graphic from last week, and there's this.
I think Ash did it.
Did she really?
Ashton
did it?
Harris, yeah. I think he did it.
I would love to see that.
I know he gave us names. I don't know if he did pictures.
Oh, well, there's the picture that's in the graphic from from last week's show. And it's a picture of all of the Avengers. That's what I don't know if that's what you're thinking, Sweet, but I would love to be able to take that and throw some AI juice on that. Or maybe somebody in our audience is so talented with the gift of the pen or pencil that you want to go ahead and gift us some kind of drawing like that. I don't know how we can celebrate you for doing it. But I would love to talk to, anybody who's got those kind of skills and see how we can replicate that picture with all of us. That would be super dope. I think. So there you go. Karen Griffin, good to see you checking in from the West Coast. Good to see you, Karen. Adrian Crook checking in. Yeah. Okay. We'll see what y'all got down there in the bayou. Shacko, restoring the strike. Good to have you. Good to have you. See? Gail, she agrees with me. Cleveland, they not serious about basketball.
I don't know.
Anyway,
it's the East.
She's up there.
It's the East.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hitman checks in. Very happy with the staff and all the Florida high school guys coming to FAMU. Exactly. Well said. Well said. Looks like it's going to be more cold out there. NC Rattler. More cold coming to the Carolinas, huh?
This weekend. Yeah. It's cold here.
Yeah. My guy Dex checking in. Good to see you, Dex. Checking in. Good to see you. Yeah, I think we all caught up. I want to give a shout out to first off, I think we got to mention, and I want to make sure I got it. We got to mention Kelvin because we spent so much talking about the all-in Restore the Strike campaign that I think hold on, if I can pull up the numbers on here, it is. Is this it? I say we.
Yeah. It is we.
Okay, we hit the goal of 250,000.
No.
Well, the goal was 250,000 by the 31st of
Yeah.
January. We
Yeah.
hit it, and we hit it out the ballpark. It has
There you
far
go.
exceeded.
Yeah.
It has far exceeded. I'm looking
We
at the
blew it up.
live. We blew it up. We blew it up. I'm looking at the live numbers right now. We have 872 donors currently that have raised a total of $324,247. That's nearly well over a $250,000, nearly 325. And 872 donors is the part that I'm really, really impressed by.
In 1 month.
In 1 month, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We saw on that last, and this was what, Friday? The 31st was Friday, or was it Saturday? Hold on. Let me look at the calendar. Friday was the 31st.
No,
no,
Saturday.
Yeah, it was Saturday. It was Saturday. You're right. Yes, Friday was the 30th. But we saw on Friday big pushes come in from organizations. Delta Sigma Theta. I think it was the Beta Alpha chapter dropped a good 75 G's down. That was awesome to see. And I want to give a nice little shout out to Uncle Luther Campbell. Did a very good show. Those of you who may follow him on various social medias or whatever, he has a show podcast that he does. And he had Coach Gray on last week. And not only did, he make a nice contribution to the program or to the campaign, he pubbed the heck out of it. And, I just sat there and I'm watching him work. And, Kelvin, I was sitting there thinking, now that's what an ambassador is supposed to do. That's what an ambassador is supposed to do.
Yeah.
I resisted the urge to tweet that and be ugly. And I'm not even going to mention it other than just saying, if you got a celebrity ambassador, because I think I saw his promos all weekend. Like there were various, shout out to his people who do his promotions, but there were little clips floating. I couldn't get away from them. They were on Instagram, they were on Facebook, they were on Twitter. I just kept thinking, damn, that's what your celebrity ambassador is supposed to do. If you got one, if you want to put one out there and et cetera, right? Because I remember once upon a time we had an ambassador, whatever. But anyway, I just kept thinking, man, that's what it's supposed to look like. So I'm, shout out to Uncle Luke. Appreciate it.
Well, he said he was going to do it, and he followed it up immediately and did it. So I know Vaughn probably have something to say about that too. Look like Bryan and froze up there.
I don't know. How's that possible?
All right.
And I'm hardline. How is that possible? Anyway, I think I was trying to hit one button, and I was trying to turn on the chat feature there, and I think that's what caused it. But anyway, yeah.
Get it.
Exactly.
Get it.
Uncle Luke made many a FAMU Rattlers happy over the decades. So I didn't know he even shared. There was a post he did where he shared a little background about, I guess, some family. He's got
3 brothers.
3 brothers that are Rattlers, and so I just look, I ain't gonna tell y'all who needs to be or you should be asking to be an ambassador. If you want to go down that road, I don't know if we need to, but hey.
Well, and me, I like to shoot my shot. I like to go big. So I know a certain person probably be retiring in a year. You might have some free time. I'm just saying. Them shoes
Retiring.
look them shoes look really good on him the other night.
Lord have mercy.
You gotta ask.
Yeah, he'll have a lot of time to maybe come on campus. If I got to see another pair of shoes that I'll never get my hands on, I can do without them. That's all I'm gonna say. Some of y'all can be excited about seeing shoes that you'll never get your hands on. I'm not that guy. I used to, and shout out to my.
I got quite a few of them.
I'm sure you do.
I got a lot of them. Let's put it that way.
Hey, there's a Twitter account I follow. Is it Retro Rattler or something?
Yeah.
Man, I think that brother has every pair of LeBron FAMUs that have come out.
Yeah, he's definitely got an inside source somewhere.
Yeah. Oh man, does he? Look, he's got a nice wall to the point. Remember, we were talking about the UNC Jordan brand wall, and we were talking about it, and I saw the picture that he posted one time, and I kept thinking that thing needs to be in Lawson somewhere. That something similar to that display needs to be in the Lawson Center. I don't know, but anyway.
We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna get there.
Yeah. Look, I would love to love LeBron's too. I just, I just can't get excited for. I can't even get the last pair that, I can't even get. It's either not the right. I can't get the right size, or I'm too slow. I don't have enough bots to buy the shoe. It's just one. It's a personal thing. There's no hate. It's just I'm not gonna sell it. I'm not gonna be tempted to celebrate something that I can never get my hands on. So anyway, but I know it excites a lot of y'all. I just wish we could sell those. Kelvin will find a way to have them.
I'm gonna wear mine.
Look, Kelvin will have a pair. I'm predicting by the SWAC tournament, by SWAC basketball tournament, Kelvin will have a pair, and I'm just gonna look at him and go, "Thanks, Kelvin."
You ain't got these.
You ain't got these. Exactly. You and Coach Simmons up there putting your feet on desk, talking about you ain't got these. Exactly. Let's see. Jimmy Mack says, what does he say? One of Luke's brothers was his classmate. Okay. Oh, man. Didn't know that. It's a member of Phi Beta Sigma. Okay. Interesting. Maybe I need to tell our CEO that. Be like, yo, what's your frat doing? Anyway, so I wanted to, at some point we're gonna get into talking about all the stuff going on in athletics, and we don't have a lot of time to get into it. One of the obviously on the positive note, you got everything that's happening with the football program right now, the signing day. What's got us kind of shaking our heads in bewilderment right now is what we're watching from the basketball programs. Our men and women's basketball teams are both simultaneously in a 3-game losing streak. And the state of Alabama just flat out humbled us.
Yeah, no FAMU Bama.
No FAMU Bama this year. No Alabama, no FAMU Bama, nothing this week. It was like, damn, I can't remember the last time we went up there into that state and came back with donuts. Tough losses. The women on Thursday against first it was Alabama State for the women, then the doubleheader against Alabama A&M for both of them. Tough losses. The men's game was just a head scratcher as we just started off on an epic cold streak. Never led in the ball game on several occasions late in the first half, early in the second. It was a 2-point game. We could just never get over, could never tie that game up.
It was hard to watch.
And I think what we're watching from both teams is just the shooting has gone like cold from the free throw shooting to the field goal percentage. It's tough, very tough right now. What's your thoughts on what you have seen as you try to look at maybe one or two things that are just really head scratching? What are you seeing, Kelvin?
So I'll start with the guys, and in terms of the guys, I think it's real simple. I went back and looked at our scores for every game this year. I mean, this season, going back to even the pre-conference schedule, and those when we went on that 4 or 5 game run, we scored over 70 points in all those games. So one,
Mm-hmm.
and but outside of that, all of our losses, we've always been around 66, 65 or lower. So I'm thinking we were hoping when we was on a high, we were winning. I think we kind of thought, well, maybe our offensive shot making had improved and it'd be more consistent. And what I'm starting to wonder is maybe just like on the women's side, we're kind of limited. Is streaky, our main scorers like Sanders. He's going to give you one where he's hot, and then it'll be 3 more games before he give you another one like that. So we just don't have consistency. And then also on the men's side, we've got 2 and 3s on wing guys who are trying to handle the ball. We not having a point guard is really hurting us because we can't feed the post without turning it over. We try to dribble drive and get ripped at half court, or we try to dribble between 2 and 3 people on the defense and get trapped. We dribble right into the traps underneath the basket, and we just don't have the handles or the quickness from our guards so we got high turnover, low shooting in terms of 3 and from the field, and so that's a recipe for staying around 65 points and losses. So that's kind of where we are, and I don't know if it's a funk or is that just kind of the team we are. So if that's the case, then we're probably going to need some cheap baskets, and we're going to have to do a little more trap and pressing and try to speed up the game and get some easy baskets and instead of the half court baskets. On the women's side, the only thing I'll say is we're fine with we understand that we're not going to shoot a high percentage on that, and our free throw shooting was better. However, again, high turnover, and both the men and women have shortened their rotations, and I don't know if that's working for us. I thought we were better when we were wearing teams down, kept fresh legs, because we were so putrid sometimes offensively. I thought throwing more bodies, and being able to have fresher defensive intensity was a better recipe for both teams. So I maybe the bench might be a little too short. I was looking at the minutes, particularly the men in the last game, and a lot of 30s and 32s. And there's only one player we got on the men's side who can create their own shot, and that's Washington. So we just gotta. I just wish they would play clean. If both teams just played clean, right? Not have the high turnovers.
Yeah.
Make the layups and the easy shots when we have them. If they do that, they will probably win 65-70% of their games still. But they're not playing clean, and it's tough to watch.
The talent is there, but like you said, we got to find a way to play cleaner basketball, and that's look. Every coach in the nation is probably preaching that same thing to their team, and it's the team that makes the fewest amount of mistakes is the team that usually finds themselves having the most success. We'll talk more about the basketball teams coming up later in the show, But let's get into our first break, because on the other side, we got our good friend Vaughn Wilson, HBCUGameDay.com, Eddie Jackson 220 Quarterback Club. We'll talk about what he's doing and some recent changes that he's made, and we'll get into that and a little bit more with Vaughn coming up on the other side. You're watching the O&G StrikeZone right here on the Black College Sports Network. Hang tight, hit the thumbs up and the like button if you would during the break, and we'll be back right after these words.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
When it comes to professional learning, teachers deserve better. From the leader in online learning, Stride brings you the Stride Professional Development Center, an on-demand library of mobile-friendly courses that gives teachers choice and flexibility, allowing them to learn anytime and anywhere. Our dynamic courses provide bite-sized learning and help educators advance their knowledge while also gaining professional development hours. It's time you take charge of your learning. Visit us today to get started.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
All right, welcome back to the O&G StrikeZone. Bryan and Kelvin here, and joining us is our good friend of the program, Vaughn Wilson of HBCUGameDay.com. Vaughn, I forgot to mention, I'm sorry, excuse me, FAMU Sports Hall of Famer, and of course from HBCUGameDay.com, Vaughn Wilson. Vaughn, I apologize. I gotta make sure I would put some respect on your name, brother.
It's all good. And Mega Eggs Productions, and he like a Haitian Jamaican. He got about 20 jobs.
And
Kelvin, wait a minute, Kelvin, there's one more thing you got to say. You didn't say where I'm from. Okay, thank you. That's the most important one.
See, there it is. Exactly, most important. Vaughn, how you doing, man? What's good?
I'm doing great. Enjoying listening to Kelvin, like taking the words right out of my mouth, explaining the basketball programs. I think you were spot on, Kelvin. Absolutely great breakdown. I think the teams have just gone a little cold right now, but if they're gonna have a slump, let it be now and let them get it back in time for the conference play.
Exactly. Just to point out, we are right at that point, midway point of the conference season. The men are 5-4, the women are 4-5, so we're sitting right there in the hunt, in the middle. A good seed. Everybody gets in this year. So I think the goal probably for most teams is top 6 gets a bye, or top 7 gets an extra day of rest, something like that.
Hey, the strategy is simple: defend home court, split on the road.
Well, you're right. If you do that, you're probably gonna have at least 10 to 12 wins, probably, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Well, Vaughn, of course, joining us, and for much of 2023, Yeah, this is 6. 25. I had to do my math here. You saw Vaughn serving as the president or maybe executive director, for lack of a better word, for the Eddie Jackson 220 Quarterback Club. And if you've been watching recently, you've seen a little less of Vaughn, as Vaughn has sort of stepped back a little bit. Vaughn, why don't you let people know what precipitated the change of a lesser role with the Eddie Jackson 220 Quarterback Club?
I can point to one thing directly. Mega Ace Media was elected the Minority Business of the Year last year by Leon County and the city of Tallahassee. Phone ringing and those obligations, I just couldn't commit to being there on every Wednesday. But what I did commit to the club, which I love so much, I was able to be there today. I committed to continue to provide their broadcasts. So I have a team of people who make sure that it's still broadcast because it's still an important piece. It's still important. So many people tell me from out of town, it's how they keep in contact with what's going on. And nice. So with that, we couldn't lose that because I couldn't be there. But also, you can't, a leader has to be present. And I couldn't lead that organization in good faith and good conscience without being able to be there with them. Still support. I'm still a donor. I still talk to Dr. Jackson all the time, talk to the other members all the time, and they'll still ask my opinion. I'm still a huge supporter and believer in the group and its mission.
Nice. Go ahead, Kelvin.
Vaughn,
that's one of your drone shots behind you as your screen
Absolutely. Bragg Stadium at night. Can't wait to get back there. Just hope we got some night games this year.
Absolutely, man.
I hope so. I hope so too.
That is a beautiful shot of campus. Part of the reason I tried to get you on last week, and we had the Vengeance show, so we had a lot going on along with a bunch of announcements. But was to talk about the All In campaign. And Rally Nation really rose to the occasion, and just kind of give me your thoughts on the All In campaign with Quinn and the fundraising and why Rally Nation was so supportive of it.
How much time we got? No, I'm just serious. The short of it is, what a great campaign. You get a coach, and people say it doesn't matter, if somebody's a Rattler or not. It does. It does matter if you're a Rattler or not, obviously, from the success of this campaign. What also happened was the business model changing. Brandy Tatum Frederick, vice president of the FAMU Foundation, brought on Marvin Green to raise funds specifically for athletics and the March 100. We've never really had that before. It was always left up to athletics internally to have people, have staff, and also in athletics with the small size of the staff, that person was also doing something else, most likely. So now to have a dedicated person to sit there and come up with a campaign with Coach Gray. He talked with Marvin Green, talked with Coach Gray, figured out what he needed. They figured out what the campaign was going to be. And then Marvin's business degree, he's one of Sybil's boys. It kicked in. And he was able to pull a lot of the groups together, Rattlers in Arms, National Rattler F, 220 Quarterback Club, Rattler Boosters, all of these groups together, and gave each group a unique code to send. So all of the money was going in the same pool, but you could see what came through Rattlers in Arms. You could see what came through 220, and it was seamless. Most people absolutely had no idea there were different codes, but they all led to the same place. But that was how they could track where the funds were coming from. That needed to happen. Working in silos is not the way. Everyone coming together, and look, I forgot to say the FAMU National Alumni Association. My apologies for leaving them out of that, but they were involved as well. Artisha Pope, president, and their team. And so what you saw was something that people felt they could get on. We don't want another 5-7 season ever in life. And we know sometimes you got to put your money where your mouth is if you don't want that. You can't just say you want it different. You got to do something different. And this time the different was giving to a campaign that we have not had before. Most of our campaigns in athletics have been transactional. And I wrote about this recently. Transactional meaning you get some money, you give some money, and we're going to give you tickets, we're going to give you parking, we're going to give you this. And you give a lot of the money back. And you end up and you have 60, 50, or 40% of what you raised. Mm-hmm. And that's not successful, that transactional nature. This was a true capital campaign where your gift is the promise that we were going to invest in FAMU football and giving Quinn Gray the best opportunity to have a head start to repeat the way that he built Albany State up from where they were to a national championship team. And we've seen it in FCS, especially at HBCUs. These Division II coaches are coming in and taking over FCS. The top teams, including the HBCU National FCS champion, Chennis Berry was at Benedict, Tremaine Jackson was at Valdosta State, Quinn Gray, Albany, doing great at Albany State. It's just a trend that has proven to be successful. So to bring Quinn home, to a lot of fanfare, but he understands what Rattler Nation is expecting.
Absolutely. And because of that, I mean, first of all, he already expects it himself, right? And we always say the standard is the standard. He brings that to the table. He coming here understanding and knowing that's the standard. So he's not gonna be scary about asking for what he needs.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. If you got one shot to start off your career at FAMU, and that start is very important to your career.
Yeah, it is.
So he knows he wants to put himself in the best position possible. One of the main things that he says he wants is to get back to using the practice field, using the field where they're supposed to be. There's supposed to be two fields. There's less stress on the joints, on the grass. VP Suggs restored that field when she got back, thank goodness, because it had been degraded. So the team could only practice in Bragg Stadium. But now Coach Gray says it's an honor to play in Bragg. We're going to be on the practice field. You got to earn the right to step foot in Bragg. And boy, let me tell you, that's how I remember it.
That's right. That's right. Ahead,
and for anybody who doesn't know, on the right side of the screen, just off the left of Vaughn's arm there, which is the right side of the screen, you can see those two fields, those two practice fields over there. And it always, for a while, Vaughn, it felt kind of bad when we would park there, because I always felt kind of bad parking there. And I'm like, really? I'm supposed to park in the practice field? Really? Okay, I'll go park there.
Listen, when I played there,
it felt weird.
When I played there, you couldn't even walk down there if you weren't a football player. I mean, so parking there, it was weird and kind of disheartening to me because you had to earn the right to be down on that field, and it was also with the two fields, you had to earn your way from the bottom field up to the top field, even back to the Jake Gaither days. That bottom field is what they actually call the pit. If you're looking at the two fields by me, it's the one on the bottom. That's the pit. That's where you earned your stripes, where the 101s and the Oklahoma drills, all that happened there to see what you were made of to get up to the top field. So it's a sanctuary for football players, not parking cars.
Reggie Delane knows. He called it out. There you go, Reggie. And it's you look, it's those traditions that, I don't know if you always have to have somebody who knows your program. That's always a hot debate, but this one felt right because it was what was needed at the moment. And it always feels like when you need to get back on track, very similar to the hire of Willie Simmons. When you needed to get back on track, you had to bring somebody who understood FAMU and understood FAMU football and traditions. Now, hopefully, we can build a program with Coach Gray, around Coach Gray, right, that flourishes for however long we have him and however long that we don't have him. You're right, because that's what successful football programs do. Is everything around them is we look at some of the programs in college football that are successful. Well, they have systems around that carry on outside of and so that's where I think this is a great first step in the Restore Strike campaign. Let me transition to the coaching staff. There's some names, a lot of coaches, some guys you're familiar with, Vaughn, because you did a lot of coverage of Albany State over the last few years. And so not only did he bring in some of his former guys, he brought in some outside guys. What's your evaluation of the staff?
Let me just say this first. And I got on my I think I got on my 220 quarterback club. I got on my orange and green. But let me say this. If that time had not run out on that Albany State game, we might have been in trouble. The point is they taught a don't die, hard fighting attitude. They had the right mindset up at Albany State. And so bringing some guys in that can help him implement his plan and sprinkling in some other highly talented coaches. I like the variety of the coaching staff. I do personally. I think first off, it's a no-brainer to bring Billy Rowe back into the fold. I mean, to me, that was over the last 2 years, to me, that was the dumbest thing ever. To have Billy Rowe sitting there, he's still going to the games, still attending on the sideline. To me, that was just the dumbest thing ever. The man is a Hall of Fame FHSAA coach. He's a FAMU Hall of Famer. He knows football. He knows how to coach football, and he's a FAMU favorite son. So to me, if anybody asked me to say what over the last, to me, that was the dumbest thing, not having Billy Rowe and the access to the athletes that his name still resonates big time in Miami. And Coach Grays does as well. So now you have two guys who can help to draw student athletes in from that market. Another name that I was really, really happy to see, because I think he got a raw deal, and that's Ron Dugans. Ron Dugans has developed some receivers, sent receivers to the pro. And, unfortunately, an athlete came out and said some negative things, and they parted ways with him at Florida State. But look where that athlete is.
Yep.
Underperforming.
Suspended.
Now, what's the excuse? It's not Dugans now. It was him. So I'm glad to see him have another opportunity to bring his expertise in, because he's got a wealth of experience, and he has developed and trained some of the best receivers in the country over the last decade.
Have about 5 or 6 of them in the pros currently.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys asking the obvious here. We don't know. Look, I know you. The chat is buzzing, trying to figure it out. And all I can tell the chat is
we can't get in front of. We couldn't get in front of the coaching staff if we did know.
Yeah, Kim. Yeah.
Yeah, coach will let you know when it's official.
Exactly. Relax.
We
just know that
we're not here to break news or to make news.
No,
but they did. They told Haley something to get him back here.
They did. And we just got a former 3-star from Godby who came back from Vanderbilt. That look, I saw that signing today. Was it Chad Gillespie?
You got a kid from St. Thomas Aquinas too.
Yeah, I got a kid from St.
Thomas.
Look, so
I like the balance of the assignees I've seen. I like the balance of what I've seen, and I like the aggressive going after the high school kids. Listen, we all know what the deal is. If they play great for a couple of years, they might not be there, but you can't live your life scared of them leaving. You got to get them and use them while you got them, and then get if they leave, get somebody else. But you can't be scared to go after good high school players.
Absolutely. No, you really can't, because the way college football works these days, look, most kids, there's a kid that I've recently seen go from Division II, from I think it was NAIA to Division II to FCS, now at FBS. And I mean, he's gotten better, or either he's been seen and noticed at every step of the way. So, I mean, look, that's the progression. And as Marcus has always said this, guys, and you've heard Marcus say this, is we are a mid-major, what do you want to say, mid-major, low resource. We are what we are in the big picture of college athletics right now, right? And until something changes significantly, we'll be that for a while. But that's not a bad thing, because we have something that a lot of schools don't have. So we can continue to bring in talent. And if our talent stays because they appreciate and understand what the FAMU degree means, great. But if they're here, we're great, they're great, and they move forward, well, I mean, hey, all that does is end up looking great on us as well, because they'll say, hey, I got developed at FAMU. I was there at FAMU. It was a great experience. That other school from the wherever, Big Four, put a lot of money in front of me. It's hard to turn up, or, I mean, it is what it is, right? That's just the way the system rolls now. So, I don't know. It just, I like the talent. I like the quarterbacks. We got multiple quarterbacks. So, I mean, we'll have some great competition to watch in spring and talk about and debate about, and so it goes there. It goes like
and
that.
We've been missing edge rushers, and look like we got in some talented edge rushers. We haven't had a beast at edge rusher. Isaiah Land used to change games. He changed games.
And Kamari Stevens after him.
And Kamari changed games. And I'm looking at some of the guys and looking back at some of their huddles, and we've got some guys that are true edges, and that's important.
Yeah. Go ahead, Kelvin.
Vaughn, talk about the schedule, man. What's your thoughts on the 2026 schedule?
I'm wondering where I'm gonna stay for that week down in Miami. I'll probably come back 20 pounds heavier from Miami, eat between conch and the Jamaican food. My goodness. But no, I like the schedule in the sense that it's going to test the team and get them ready. It's going to test them early. It gives. I really like the first game against Albany State.
Right.
Before you go into the South Carolina State HBCU reigning national champion, and then the runner-up, FBS,
right,
runner-up champion. But I don't see a big issue with that, because they're playing 2 days before Miami's playing 2 days before in California.
Right.
They play Stanford out there. So we're going to have the same legs, because that jet lag, it takes a while. It actually may be advantage FAMU, because we all know how that travel affects you and affects your body and your play and your whole rhythm. So I have no problem with that game in those, how many days is it? 4 or 5 days?
4 or 5.
I think our team can handle it. I think Coach Gray will be smart to manage it well.
Yep.
And get guys an opportunity to play and see what they can do. And so I have no problem with the schedule whatsoever. I do like that we got 3 homecomings this year. Ours, Jackson's, and Alabama State. And everybody say, why will Alabama State do that? Because the last time we went there, we set the attendance record.
We did.
Yeah, their all-time attendance record at their stadium was set the last time we went there for homecoming. So that was smart on Alabama State. And Jackson State, the same thing. They know the game is going to draw, and we will get on that road and drive down to Jackson and get our cars aligned when we get back.
That's right.
I saw what you did there. That was class. That was good, Vaughn. That was good. I saw what you did there. Yeah. 75% of the games in the state of Florida. I mentioned last week that advantage it brings to sort of taking back over the state. Can you speak to that for me and kind of your thoughts on playing 9 of your 12 games in the state of Florida, and just from the various aspects of not just recruiting, but the marketing and promotions opportunities that are available to Florida A&M athletics, football program, by just having, 9 games in your home state?
Well, let's just I can start off making it smaller than that. 6 games in Bragg.
Mhm.
When you're talking to the city and county and you're going to them for resources, those are a lot. They go for head counts on beds. And so that's a lot of head counts in beds to have 6 home games. So it's much easier when you go to the city or county and request funds for them to be able to see that you are bringing the funds in to the hotels, to the restaurants, to the gas stations, to the airlines, to everyone who benefits from FAMU having home games. As a player, just like Dorothy say, there's no place like home. There is no place that rocks like Bragg Stadium does, especially when the team is doing well. And so to have that experience, I heard a couple of players were like, man, I want to get back home to Bragg, especially when things got tough. There is a home court advantage at Bragg Stadium. So you want to give yourself every opportunity you can to play. Your mom and them could come see you if you're a Florida kid, because we're in North Florida, we're playing in Central Florida, and we're playing in South Florida. So wherever your family is, there's going to be a game close to them that they can access. And let me tell you, our university does a great job. Their recruitment efforts when we play in state, it's no holds barred. They put on a show. I've seen the showcases they put on for high school students, and so many students sign up literally at those showcases to come to FAMU. And it's centered around football. So it's a part of the entire university working together, athletics, working along with the academic side to make a better FAMU.
Yep.
I would love to know more, see more about those showcases. Being somebody who's in education, working with high schools, trying to figure out how to tell more kids that I'm around about HBCUs and FAMU. I got to connect in with somebody on those showcases and figure out how to get how to do more with where I'm at.
I'll get you with my man Gus. He is one of the best recruiters I've seen maybe ever for FAMU.
Nice. Appreciate that. Let me see. What else, Kelvin? What do we have?
Don't let Rudy Slaughter hear you say that.
post Rudy Slaughter. Okay, post Rudy Slaughter. I won't have to deal with Mr. Slaughter. No.
All right. What other? Let me see. Anything else that we left on the plate that we didn't get to with Vaughn? I know we hit a lot of.
Well, man, let me just say this.
Yeah,
and we don't give enough attention to Garfield Ellenwood. I mean, he got them guys out there breaking records every year. So in the last meet, they broke the 60-meter indoor 60-meter and the 60-meter hurdle record. I mean, he is and the transfer portal gets guys, and he goes and beats the bushes and finds somebody else. So we got to give some props to Garfield Ellenwood. Our Olympic sports, let me tell you, we got the best HBCU golfer and one of the best golfers in the world in Sasha What's Sasha
Robinson.
Robinson.
Man, yeah. Sophomore, true sophomore.
There was a tournament in the fall, I think it was in Detroit or Chicago, where he was, I think after the first round, he was number one. Florida State was in the Michigan State, Notre Dame. All of them were in there. He was in first place. So this guy is absolutely incredible. So Mike Rice has reloaded that team. And I promise you, the team this year is stronger than last year's team, believe it or not. As great as they were last year, the team this year, because he brought in another young man, I don't know where he came from. He came from a Power 4 school, and he's on our team now. So the golf team, I mean, and so that's why I say our Olympic sports, tennis has won 2 of the last 3 SWAC champions. Coach Nikki Houston has done an amazing job, and those young ladies were at the 220 quarterback club today. And you can just see their focus. You can see their focus. Jamie Shoup, you know, everybody want to second guess Jamie Shoup. Let me say this. Coaches have to take gambles. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but you can't fault a coach for taking a gamble. So I stand 100%. If it had turned out the other way, he'd have been brilliant. And so I don't question one bit that man knows baseball. He wanted to ride the horse that got him there. Sometimes it wins, sometimes it doesn't. So I've never been the one to sit there and sit back and criticize. Oh, he shouldn't have done. He shouldn't have been in that game. To be honest, he shouldn't have made it to the championship game. We lost everybody year before last. Everybody. So last year's team was a ragtag put together, and he got them to the championship game and 1 out away from a ring. So I'm looking forward to him. He's excited. I talked to him. He's excited about this season. Cookman has all their people back, so it may be an opportunity to get back. You know what I'm saying? It could be. Softball, Brittany, we saw her energy. Last year, and I'm excited for what she brings. So our Olympic sports are in very, very good hands, and FAMU's been known for those sports. Bob Hayes, Althea Gibson, Andre Dawson, Marquise Grissom. You know, we've been known for our Olympic sports, and our teams right now, I know they're less high profile because you don't broadcast the games on SWAC TV on all these sports, but we have some really good athletes that are wearing orange and green, representing FAMU in a great way. And the tennis team has a 3.7 GPA, highest GPA in our athletic department.
And it's only getting better, Vaughn, because Coach Shoup kind of dropped on a show last week that that turf field that we should have had 3 years ago. No, 5, 6 years ago.
5, 6 years ago, yeah.
That look like that's coming around. We got one of the courts, the tennis courts done. The second one should be coming up pretty soon. And then, of course, the city of Tallahassee, the golf course, Capital City, right around the corner, is proposed to be the home course of FAMU golf. So
that was part of the sale. The part of the sale of that golf course was to make sure that it remained and FAMU had access to that course, which is good. It's right on. I mean, it's 2 blocks from campus. I mean, along with their on-campus practice facility, when they need to get out and actually get on the course, you're 2 blocks away. So that's a very good situation. Yeah, just like you said. So.
I'm with little baby. Hopefully, we see a lot of baseball and softball games on SWAC TV. Let me leave you with this last question for you, Vaughn. What's your thoughts on SWAC TV as you have watched it progress from the fall to the winter? What's your overall thoughts on what you're seeing from the conference?
I would much rather be on SWAC TV than ESPN, and let me tell you why. For the schools, SWAC TV is a gold mine, and people don't understand it, that Dr. McClellan created a media portal whereby each school can run their own ads during the broadcast. Those are Those are assets that you can say it is a gold mine. It really is. SWAC TV on ESPN. I remember when I was there and we started Rattler Productions and we were in the MEAC, we had 2 minutes per game of commercials. So if you did 30s, you only get run 4 commercials during the game. SWAC TV, they give you very limited commercials. You completely control that broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a revenue generator. It's up to the schools to take advantage of it. I think VP AD Davis very clearly understands that. And I'm very excited because he understood it so well. That opportunity that's there to raise resources. This is why those big Power Force conferences get all the money. It's the media rights. And so we have been taking the MEAC, it got us on ESPN, and that was a start. But SWAC TV is a whole new ball game, and it actually is viewed more because of its ease of use on the app without a subscription. It's actually viewed more. So if you can tell a potential sponsor, well, it's going to be watched by 200,000 or 300,000 eyes, you can demand much more from them.
Yep.
Much more.
Hey, look. If I'm ever injured in Alabama, I know who I'm calling. That's all I'm gonna tell you, boy. So I sure as heck know who to call. I heard that ad about 20 times during them 2 games.
Well, we need some of them. We need some of them on the FAMU broadcast. You know, to utilize that. That's, to me, that's one of the biggest revenue generators that our athletics department can have. SWAC TV is an awesome portal for the schools to make money, and the conference has done. I give Dr. McClellan and his team a big 2 thumbs up because that portal is pretty flawless and it's easy to access, and it creates a great revenue opportunity for the schools. Great revenue opportunity.
Yep. Vaughn, I'm going to give you the floor here to kind of promote whatever it is you want to promote, whether it be your production company, HBCU Game Day. Let people know where they can find you, where they can reach you, or what you got upcoming.
Yes, weekly I am on HBCU Game Day, and I don't know if people understand this, why we do less videos. We're the McClatchy Group, which is one of the biggest newspaper groups in the country. We're a syndicate. They syndicate our stories, which is why we write more, because it's exponentially more revenue, because there's 36 million circulation potential. And when they pick up our stories, you know it. You know, when they make comments, we get the emails back. So we're picked up. We are quoted by literally everybody from ESPN, the People, the Sports Illustrated, or whatever. So that's kind of the fun part, to be actual journalists. Not as much on the fun side of broadcasting. It's tougher to write. It is tougher to write. But when you're able to write a story about the success of the Restore the Strike campaign, that's when it's fun. And when you can put some historical perspective behind that, or when you come in and you're able to put a Black history moment that people don't know about, you know, and those things to educate people. So I'm on HBCU Game Day, love being there. I am Vaughn R. Wilson on Twitter, Vaughn R. Wilson on Facebook, and VRW52 on Twitter X. Which I don't do many postings.
You're everywhere.
Hey,
DJ's 2000 on Instagram.
That's right, DJ Ace. That's what I remember. The musical moon.
I said, what? The DJ doing that too? What? The DJ does everything. Yeah, the DJ.
Hey, Vaughn, I'm gonna throw you a curveball real quick.
This
is not a FAMU related question, but having been AD and knowing that you were over game ops too, Did you see the Morehouse Tuskegee basketball coach situation?
I have no idea why they would go through that, because the fallout is just going to be a bad name on the school. Mm-hmm. Very, very bad name on the school. It was uncalled for. The coach was not being combative. Mm-mm. I mean, it was a tough, contentious game, but the coach, he was
right. He was actually right.
He was correct, but he didn't threaten anybody or anything of that nature. Now, that really bothered me. That really does bother me that our HBCUs in this. Like, I woke up this morning, that story's on Sports Illustrated, you know? Campbell said, the coach was right. Yeah, he was right. Why did they give a basketball tournament to ESPN Plus? The conference still has a contract with ESPN. So there are select things that ESPN actually has. But they also have a limited contract with HBCU Go. But SWAC TV allows them not to have to wait on those other networks. If FAMU wants to set up and broadcast a tennis match, all they have to do is let the conference know to say, hey, we're going to be sending you the signal from the tennis match, and it's on. Yep. You don't have to wait for somebody to say, hey, we want XYZ, because that's going to be limited. Like I said, this portal with SWAC TV allows the schools to control so much more.
Yep. 100% revenue generator. And I'm sure you've seen there's finally been a response from that university in Atlanta. They finally issued a statement. So
it's like I say, it's tough. There is no way that it's not going to be bad. No matter what you say, because on social media, everybody saw that officer arrest that coach and put him in handcuffs. That can't be erased. No matter what you say.
The sad part is he didn't arrest him. I guess the sad and good is that they just handcuffed him and then let him go. He did not get arrested. Did not get arrested.
Yeah.
He got detained.
Yeah. It just looks bad on us HBCUs. Shots out to Langston University, though. They were on the OKC HBCU night last night. They performed. Yeah, I was proud to see them there at the OKC basketball game last night. And, you know, the Orlando Magic are having their Black History situation. So shouts out to the NBA for recognizing Black History Month and HBCUs.
I gotta look that up when the Orlando Magic are doing that. Okay,
and the Atlanta Hawks are doing something big too. I just saw that come across the press line. So big props to the NBA.
Yeah, the NBA is doing what was it? Sunday they did some kind of legacy thing, which, you know, it went over my head, but it was a legacy basketball related event, you know, but anyway.
I'm sorry, I read
I
read Kelvin's quote. Bryan, that's why I said what I said for exactly that quote. He said, "Man, we black. You put the cuffs on a black man, we arrested." I agree. That's Kelvin. That's. I do know he turned you loose, but yeah, in our minds, they put the cuffs on you. It's not when you get the Miranda rights read or any of that. When you put the cuffs on, you
been watching too much Minneapolis.
Yeah, Lord have mercy. Yeah.
Oh God.
Like Mr. Campbell would say, we've gone. Campbell, how many days has it been? I know. Give me the count, because I know we somewhere at least in the 30-something days, or at least we into however many days into this year with no FAMU foolishness. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Quit talking about it.
I didn't know. We good.
All right. I do want to say this real quick before we leave. The new vice president and director of athletics. I know sometimes it sounds boring when he's talking, But Kelvin and I know good and darn well you have to have a plan. I've told everybody that my biggest understanding of college athletics is when Milton Overton was athletic director. He brought that level of understanding of the whole business model, and we all operated under that. So I'm actually encouraged by what I'm seeing from John Davis to actually put some systems in place. You can't put a system in place if you don't know how it's being operated. So he said evaluate and then systematize. And his spiel, I know sometimes to people it's boring, but what he's saying is what's been wrong with FAMU athletics. There has been no system. There have been so many things that have just happened by osmosis, I would say. But we do need systems in place. So I am encouraged by his plan farther than probably a lot of other people are. But from experience working in athletics under the great Milton Overton, I understand what he's saying.
I think what'll have to happen, Kelvin, because you know this, and Vaughn, you as well, when something happens that would not have previously happened, that is when you two need to point it out and say, hold on, you see that right there? That wouldn't have happened previously. Because of, you know what I'm saying? Because I think that gives a tangible vision to what it is he's speaking of. Because right now, people hear things and it just sounds like words. But when that tangible result of what he's speaking of happens, I'm charging you two with letting us know. Because for a lot of folks, they don't see it and they don't know. But when you two, because you guys know behind the scenes what's working and how things work, when you see it, you got to let us know. You got to let people know.
And the weird thing about it is the biggest things need to happen are not external things that you can actually see. A big part of what he's got to correct is the internal operations.
Mm-hmm.
The internal operations is where the biggest problem with FAMU athletics is.
Vendor payments. I thought Bryan didn't like that one.
Hold on, I'm gonna do you like my man Drew be doing.
Yeah. It's some of it you won't see, but there are things that continue to happen that need to be repaired so that it won't happen. There's flags that goes up if it begins to start happening again, and things could be corrected. What we all go through. When I had an opportunity to talk to A.D. Davis, I told him, he asked me what our thoughts were. I said, it hurts more for FAMU to be announced as non-APR compliant than it does to go 5-7.
True.
Because there is no excuse for this institution of higher learning not to provide the best academic situation for those athletes. Wins and losses, that's playing a game. That's a big variable. But the education part can't be a variable. That has to be consistent. Because that's a bigger embarrassment to the brand than a 5-7 season. I promise you it is. Because people are saying, well, what are they doing over there? They won all these awards for academics, but their teams can't make the APR rate. It doesn't make any sense. I said, please don't embarrass us with that anymore. Get that in order. Get that compliance in academics. I've been begging for this for the last decade. The only times you see me write negative about my university is academics and compliance. That's the only, I'm going to grill them every single time. To the point where a few years ago, I wrote so bad about Dr. Robinson. When I saw him, he told me, I heard you. That's what he told me. He told me, I heard you. I hear you. So really? I want him to get it fixed. And the last thing I'm going to say is the next Board of Trustees meeting, I will be there doing public comment on the treatment of FAMU DRS.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it.
Yep.
I'm sick of it. Sick of it. It's almost like when they moved down on that corner, they just separated them from the university or something. I don't know, but I am absolutely sick of that. We've got to do better by our youngsters, preparing them for college than what we're doing at the FAMU DRS. There is no excuse for a university school to not be an A+ school every time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We should have our STEM. I'm gonna stop. Leave it alone. You got me started.
Right. I'm sorry to get off on that, but I just, so when y'all see me on there, I'm not talking about sports. When I go to board trustees meeting, public, it's gonna be about FAMU DRS.
The
All right. Vaughn Wilson, HBCUGameDay.com, FAMU Sports Hall of Famer. As always, friend of the program. Thank you for taking some time out this evening, Vaughn, touching on a few topics, interesting stuff. We appreciate you, Vaughn. You be well.
Well, Bryan, people are still complimenting you on the football broadcast for this year. Let me tell you, when I couldn't get to a game and I was listening in, you made me feel like I was there. You did an absolutely awesome job, man. Congratulations on that.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I tried to keep Rattler Nation glass half full as long as I could, man. Folks would beat me up, Vaughn, and he beat me up.
I know.
You did a good job. You did a good job.
I love it, man. I love
it. You call what you saw, brother. That's all we saying.
That's all we can do. That's all we can do, man. Hey, thank you, Vaughn. We appreciate
Absolutely.
you, man.
Anytime, guys.
Thanks,
all right.
Vaughn.
Be well. All right. Appreciate Vaughn for coming in and joining us. Let's get to a break, because coming up out of the break, we got to talk National Signing Day. Marcus Green will be ready to join us, our recruiting guru, and we can get going and talking about some of the young men who are ready to restore the strike. They're all in, ready for the 2026 FAMU football season. So you guys hang tight with us as we get ready to head to break. You're watching the O&G StrikeZone right here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be back in just a moment.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically Black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU stories with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU Image, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
So we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, Papa mama hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant. Authentic Caribbean cuisine.
Open up the door, tell them mama hungry.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
Hello, I'm Billy Joe. I was the head football coach at FAMU from 1994 through the 2004 season, 11 years. I'm here to encourage you to join me in donating $250 or more to our new head football coaches program, Quinn Gray. He was a member of my FAMU program from 1997 to 2001, 5 years. Those 5 years were FAMU's golden years. We never lost to BCU during that time. We made the NCAA playoffs 5 straight years, and Quinn ran my Gulf Coast offense with precision and intelligence. We beat Troy State University twice and blew out Appalachian State on their own home field during those playoff runs. No HBCU football team has ever won 3 games in the NCAA playoffs in Division I AA. No SWAC team has ever won a game in the NCAA playoffs. Quinn will bring the golden years back to FAMU, but he needs your help, so donate generously of $250 or more to his FAMU football program. And go Rattlers! And strike! And strike! And strike again!
That's my coach, Bryan Fulford, Kelvin Rozier. Joining us now, Marcus Green. Marcus, how you doing this evening, brother?
It's been a busy day.
Oh, yes, yes, it has.
Day.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has. Just to let people know who may have missed the totals, the Restore the Strike campaign. As of right now, it raised $324,247 among 872 donors. You know, so congratulations, FAMU. Hey, if you still want to give, don't give. Don't stop giving. Don't stop now. So, you know, just wanted to let people know that's awesome. Congratulations. Well, we are ready for, wow, what an awesome day. National Signing Day is here. I think, I don't know about you fellas and Marcus, this has been the most enthused I have been, energetic, excited, about talking about and seeing the new recruits. Obviously, you got transfers as well as high school kids, but it's been a while. It's been a couple of years since I've been this excited. Do you have similar feelings and thoughts about what we saw today?
Me? Are you talking to Kelvin? Oh, yeah, I do. I guess. Yes, I'll say yes. Short answer, yes. A couple of things I'm hoping they'll come through. But yes, I'm excited about it.
And let me just add real quick, Bryan. You brought it up and you gave kudos to the SID and the students who are, and I have to say, man, I want to give kudos too, because we give criticism sometimes. We need to give the kudos that, man, they started rolling those things out when the coffee was still brewing.
8:31, I think, was the first one that rolled out this morning. 8:31.
Yeah.
Which is that's good. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
And they were
And they still rolling them out now.
Yeah, we had
I'm
a
updating the
couple.
slides. I'm updating the slides now, and I upload them.
Oh, really? So, because have there been a couple since the show started?
Yes.
Okay, because
Well, at least
there
one.
were a
Well,
couple.
two.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not sure which ones you have, but they Tion Weish out of Jacksonville, younger brother.
He's
of one
official.
of,
He's official.
Yep.
Okay, I didn't have him. So before the show, the running back transfer from Vanderbilt was the last one prior to the start of the show.
Yes, I did not see that. I was out of the
Chase Gillespie.
Yes. So there are a couple surprises noted. Most of them in the high school ranks. I guess there's one surprise they hadn't. Well, I guess two surprises we hadn't heard about, until at least I hadn't heard about it. Didn't see anything on social media. Not to say nobody's heard about it. That Chase Gillespie and also the young man that transferred, Jason DeClona, and actually we offered his brother a couple years ago. They're both in class of 2023, but I didn't see before we had actually offered him. So those are two that I hadn't really heard about or seen anything on social media. And there are a lot of high school surprises, but when we can just go in any order, but I'm trying to make sure I update everything, and then we can upload and go through. We can go through that now, and I don't know how it works live. If you want to, switch over to the slideshow, or
yeah, I'll have to probably re-download and go back and reset. So I'll just kind of go with what we have now.
Okay.
And so, the Jordan Davis signing was from the early signing period back in November, December.
Yes, and the next one I did move it before you guys went live. So, and he's a signing back then, but we did move or did lose to Bethune-Cookman, I guess, during the coaching transition. One of the other offensive linemen.
There was two. I remember there used to be two that were early signed.
Yeah, Shamari Bowens.
He was the second one that we lost.
No, he was now Jordan. As far as I know, I didn't see anything on the social media indicating that he's not with FAMU. But someone else, Jordan, sent me a tweet showing Shamari Bowens out of Miami Southridge that he signed with Bethune-Cookman today, and I'm assuming that he was released from his NLI, his letter of intent, during the coaching change.
Okay. So that's why that slide went from 1 to 2. Okay, all right.
That's why I imagine. I don't know.
2 to 1 because we had.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't know the circumstances behind that, but we know that he did sign with Bethune-Cookman today. But as far as when I looked at Jordan's socials right after I saw that, I didn't see anything for him to indicate that he's gone. So I did catch a little bit earlier some of the show when I was driving back, listening to it. Vaughn talking about a lot of the edges that we signed. So this is a young man that signed early on. It's right in that interim state. I want to say it was around mid-December. So I don't know. I think it was after Coach Colsey had already departed, but Coach Gray hadn't been officially announced. So I was wondering about him, but glad to see that he signed. And he's a Florida native, won state championship. And actually, a lot of the early ones are folks that we've gone over a lot over the last couple months in reviewing it. So I don't know how much time you want to spend on each one. I do not have a total by position. I haven't had a chance to update my spreadsheet yet, so I can do that and get the signees and how many for each position. Probably later day, go review that maybe next week. But I just haven't had a chance to do it today because I was uploading these slides and trying to catch up on all the new folks that we had.
Gotcha. All right. Terrell James, of course. Well, I was just reading here another good site, the FAMU Football Signing Day Central, FAMUathletics.com. You can go and check that out. Now that site, obviously, it was last updated 3:26 in the afternoon. Obviously, there have been a few guys since then, which I'm sure they'll update in the morning.
The Democrat jury got a running tab 2.
Is he running an updated sheet as well? Okay.
It's I think it's a little bit more updated, but it ain't. I know it don't have the last guy sign.
All right. Well, let's keep moving from Terrell. Again, a nice size defensive end. I think one thing that I think people will appreciate knowing Marcus is eligibility. Do these guys, does Terrell have, is he coming into FAMU with 1 year left? Does he have 2? He's a class of 23. So he's really probably, let me see.
I'd imagine he has at least 2.
Yeah.
He's only been around 2 years in college. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. But he's been to 3 colleges. Well, actually 4. This will be his 4th one. But Arkansas State was really quick. Murray State was really quick. And then at a JUCO. So at worst, even if he got redshirted, say his freshman year, he maybe spent 1 year at Murray State, 1 year at Eastern Mississippi. So he may have 2 years left. Right. Xavier Herndon, and this may be the run of Albany State transfers. So we've talked about Mr. Herndon a little bit, a tight end, and I'm glad we have 2 because I know we lost quite a few tight ends. And a lot of them were seniors in the last couple of years, and they were one and done. So it's good to have him and the other gentleman that came in that you see further down.
I've got some for people who may not be familiar with Herndon. I do have some huddle stuff from him. If you want to, maybe if either of you would like to kind of touch on. Hold on, let me gotta remove one thing and then add him. There you go. There's some. What are some things that you like about Herndon in his game?
Well, he's a reliable target, a big target, and he already has, well, and that's another topic, but he has the quarterback's trust if everything goes through with that. And he has game experience. And so, I think that in and of itself, just being familiar with the offense, what needs to be done in certain situations, having experience, and also having shown some ability and actually having won, I think, an all-SIAC offense, I think as a freshman or the redshirt freshman. So he has the talent, he has the expertise, and his big body.
Yeah, ditto. Size, great, really good, solid size. Look like a every down tight end because he can look like he can run, block, as well as catch the ball out of the backfield. Seems to have pretty good hands, and he from the South Mid Georgia area, so a lot of physical footballs played there, and he knows Quinn's system already.
He reminds me the core of tight ends that we had 2 seasons ago. Kobe Gross, Jordan Pruitt, those kind of guys, that he really, we really had some nice tight ends. Campbell was a good tight end last year, but the 3 years previous, we had a nice run of tight ends. Mm-hmm. So good to see somebody of Xavier's size, talent, skill level joining the team. Corey Deuce Petty, wide receiver, 5'11", another Albany State transfer out of Warner Robins High School.
Mm-hmm. And actually, he won a state title with Warner Robins back in, I want to say 2021. And he was fall 2021. He was teammates with somebody else we had initially signed right around the time that Coach Simmons left. And I think he ended up at Alabama A&M. Devion Walker. They both won. They were wide receivers on the state title team in fall 2021. So once again, someone's familiar with the system, comes in with good size, and he has some FBS experience. He spent a season at Georgia Southern, and they actually went to a bowl game the one season he went there. So he started at Tuskegee, went to Georgia Southern, came to Albany State, and now he's with us. All right, Winton Jones. Now,
High school.
keep in mind also, in terms of high school, Palmetto got to the state semis this year. It's Palmetto in Miami, not Palmetto, Florida. They got to the Class 7A state finals, and he made second team all day as a defensive back. And that's another thing. A lot of the accolades, well, at least the Miami Herald, I think they came out either yesterday or today with their all Broward team, and a couple days ago with the all Dade team. So I had to go back and update some of these with some of the accolades they received afterwards, or more recently. But no, he should be, once again, I don't know to what degree the coaching staff views some of the signees today, some of the high school signees as plug and play, or if anybody's at that level, but at least providing quality depth. And also and a lot of these tried to add the commit date to how long it took from offer to commit based on social media posts.
Yeah, I saw some nice pictures on social media from Winton's signing day ceremony. And make sure you're following at O&G StrikeZone, because I know I did retweet those photos. So if you go back to our Twitter feed, you should see some of those photos. So make sure you follow Winton. Moving on, quarterback James Hayes, 6'4", out of Coconut Creek High School.
Yes, and as you see,
for him too.
Transferred from Dillard. I think after his freshman year, it may have been, well, not after his freshman, it may have been early in his high school career. Maybe he was a freshman or sophomore, but that was the COVID year, and they actually went to the tri-county playoffs, and I think Dillard went to the finals that year. And we actually offered him then, but he ended up going to Alabama State, and I think he started in one game there. I think he played against Miles in 2024, and so made a connection with him. He jumped in the portal, and you see the size he has on him. So he's 6'3", 230, so it's kind of reminiscent of Quinn. They could probably look eye to eye. So that'll be a good addition to the quarterback room.
Now he's class of
2024.
Yeah. So I was coming across some information that, as I look at the let me find it here. He was listed as one of the top quarterbacks coming out of his class in 2024. I think it said dual threat, and I'm like, I don't know. He's a big kid. I don't know if he was necessarily dual threat, but sometimes they do that. But I just like the size and the frame.
Mm-hmm.
He throws a very catchable deep ball, over the top ball.
Okay. Well, I guess now I understand why they were calling him a dual threat. When you start running like that, all of a sudden, it's like I guess they just expect you not even be able to get out of the pocket, though. Always interesting to see, how a kid like that got out of the state of Florida. Why Alabama State? And look, Alabama State had brought in another young. They had a couple guys in front of him too. At Albany State, or not Albany State, Alabama State.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously Body, but then the kid who took over for Body during the year. So, just wanted to show. I had a little film, just pulled that up of him, so I wanted to show that.
Yeah, he got a little more wheels than I thought he had.
Yeah,
given his size.
So good addition, James Hayes. All right, moving on. Isaiah Morrison.
So this once again is another transfer from Albany, but helping to bolster the defensive front. And like I mentioned last week, I did some of the comparisons on the defensive side year over year. And we took a nosedive even compared to 2024. in terms of our defensive rankings in the NCAA. So he's going to be another addition. And a lot of the defensive linemen you'll see, we have some ends, and I'm not sure where they're scheming who for what, whether interior or on the outside. But he has some good plays, and so I'd imagine between him and Terrell James will probably be on the outside. There's a couple more folks. Looks like we have some rush linebackers or ones who can flip, either stand up or drop back. So we're getting a little bit more versatility on the defense. You see, they move him around. This is of course versus.
I remember. I went to 2 Albany State games this year. I remember this kid, high motor.
Mm-hmm.
Every play, he's coming. Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Look forward to it's another good add to the program. Isaiah Morrison out of Mainland High School. All right, Mike Peterson, 6-foot wide receiver, formerly a recent transfer from the University of Florida.
Gainesville kid.
You're on mute, Marcus.
His dad's a Gator alum.
Mm-hmm.
When he started out at Arkansas State, transferred to Florida last year, and then made himself available. So we'll see how things turn out. We're stocking up a lot on some skill positions, and I'm curious to know in terms of how many we have at each position with any returning players, because we even have some players that at least signed last year. We'll see what the roster looks like when we get an official roster. But we should have a lot of skilled players on both sides of the ball. So he'll add to the depth.
Kelvin, if you look at that list on the script, I count, in terms of receivers, I count four receivers and now 2 running backs and 2 tight ends in terms of, today's signing day numbers, the totals. I mean, you may want to confirm, or so and that kind of sinks in with what we lost, Marcus, I think, right? In terms of the number of receivers we lost and who we lost.
I don't know if we lost 4 receivers. I think we lost Goldie. Kanari Wilcher came back.
Oh, okay. So see, Wilcher came back. See, I thought we had lost Wilcher.
No, he did jump in the portal, but he came back after Coach Gray signed. At least there was a tweet saying I'm coming back. We don't know
how things. Did we lose Rogers? Did we lose Speedy Rogers?
We did. We did lose him. So that's 2 wide receivers. But also, gosh, it just slipped out of my mind.
Who was Ace Cobb? Did we lose Cobb?
No, he came.
Cobb is here.
Cobb stayed. Okay, good.
Yeah. And
Burris came back.
Yep.
And also apparently we got Quan Lee back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. So I'm looking
pretty deep.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Democrat, and it look like we have 2 wide receivers that are transfer portal, 1 running back that is transfer portal, 2 tight ends that are transfer portal, and then we have 1 high school running back and a high school wide receiver.
Okay. Omari Kinsler, linebacker, 6'5", 205, from Treasure Coast High School.
Yes, he started out at D2 Chowan in North Carolina. And I'm interested to see how that develops. just to see where they have him, if they have him moving around like a chess piece, just based on his size. I mean, he can go anywhere from, even though 205 is a little light to be on the line, he could either be a line, rush linebacker, drop back, or even be a defensive back if he's got enough, if he's not stiff and he has enough speed and acumen back there. So he looks to be able to move around depending on. And I think in high school at Treasure Coast, he might have been a defensive back. I have to go back and look at the huddle. I think that huddle clip I have there is probably. I think I had that huddle clip probably from high schools. I couldn't find anything from college on it.
You said he was a safety, Kelvin?
Yeah, I think he was a hybrid.
Okay. Caden Brown, the defensive lineman, a transfer from Syracuse.
Mm-hmm.
That's big.
Yeah, and he had some accolades coming out of high school. I saw some articles on it, but I couldn't confirm with, whatever postseason accolades that were published at the time of his graduation. But he was rated a 3-star player out of Erasmus Hall, and they won the Class 4A PSAL championship his senior year. And he was ranked as some of the top 15, if I recall the article, the top 15 defensive linemen in the Northeast at the time, either just before or just after winning his final season in high school. But I could not find, I like to corroborate, so I couldn't find any listing or any city of New York all area team or anything like that to confirm that. But once again, size 6'4", 225. It looks like he can be versatile either as a edge rusher or as a linebacker.
And you can tell, I think Coach Roll and Quinn and influence on this recruiting class. If you remember Willie when he was recruiting, a lot of the times we got kids in that 6'4", 6'3" range, and they develop them as pass rushers or ends or tight ends. And I know I used to have a coach that said, "Hey, give me a kid that's got talent and length, and I can coach him up to do whatever I need him to do." So I like I like height and length along with athleticism.
I'm interested to know the connection that brought him to FAMU, because here's a New York kid, class of 2024, one of the top defensive linemen, edge rushers in the state. He goes to the home state, Syracuse Orange, and he finds his way to Florida. Right? I'd love to know. There's got to be a connection and a tie to somebody. Wouldn't you think?
Could be.
Yeah, and we'd have to, one way to know is on his offer tweet. I have to go see if I can find it, who he tagged on it. That's not 100% accurate, but it may give an indication of who he talked to or who he had a relationship with.
And it may not be football. You got to remember, basketball has a few New York kids on it, and
there's a good one. Okay.
And actually, if I recall correctly, his I don't know how closely, but I think his former position coach is now at Florida State, came down from Syracuse. I've forgotten the gentleman's name, but I think I saw something like this. I don't know how close, or if it's just like, hey, there's an opportunity down here. So it could be something like that.
I have to add that question on the, Coach Gray has his press conference to talk about the recruiting class tomorrow morning. I have to add that one to the list if somebody doesn't get me. But if anybody who's going to be any of our media friends who are watching, that's a great question to ask Coach Gray. What was the connection that brought Caden Brown from New York to want to be a Rattler in Florida? I'd love to hear about that one. So just go throw that out in the ether, and hopefully somebody, if not me, ask.
Area said Kenya did it.
Yeah, hey, look, hey, you know, hey, I love it. I love it. All right. Tamez Young, transfer from FAU, another tight end, that second tight end that we spoke of.
Yes. So I guess we saw a little bit of him when we played FAU. I have to go back and look at that game film. But yeah, once again, big size, 6'4", 230. So he's maybe 10 pounds smaller, or 10 pounds less.
Lighter.
A little bit lighter, but it comes in with highly regarded out of Gaither High School with the FAU, and found his way to us. I don't know if he looked across the sideline in the game, but hey, I could do that.
And that's quick. I mean, he was only at FAU for a semester, or summer and semester, I guess. So,
if you remember when we played FAU, the show we did after that game, it was mentioned that there was a couple of kids who never wanted to go to FAU. They wanted to come to FAM.
I remember, yes. I remember talking to somebody at the game about that.
Mm-hmm.
So, 100. Yeah, good point. Great point. All right. Got a long snapper on here, Marcus.
Now, this one, it wasn't confirmed. I didn't see anything put out, but when this young man, he made a commitment, and I saw some pictures on the social media where he's like at Bragg Stadium practicing in the morning. So I kind of left this in here. But he's transferred from St. Thomas University, long snapper. And so I know we've lost between seniors and Jack Carson Wentz jumping in the portal, and even one of our long snappers that we signed a couple of years ago. He went to one school, and now I think he's at University of South Carolina, so he's been all around. So once again, making sure our special teams are on order, from the line all the way back to the kicker, the specialist. So this will go a long way. I think he was highly rated. I want to say he was like a 4-star snapper. I have to go back and look.
All right, moving on. One of those wide receivers that we mentioned, another FAU transfer, Joseph Young, 6'1", 195, class of 2021 out of Bryant High School in Arkansas.
They won a state title his senior year, and so that was the COVID year. But I guess Arkansas, I don't know if they paused football or not, because this team record was 13-0. So that tells me they didn't have like a little truncated season. They went all in. And so they won state Class 7A state championship his senior year. And as you can see, he got accolades. Just
a lot of winning.
Just before FAU. And he was second team offense all conference for the Kansas Jayhawk Community College. And that's probably one of the more competitive junior college leagues, along with the folks in Texas and California.
Yeah, it look like everywhere he goes, they win. So keep that trend going.
You must be thinking, we did a lot of losing down here at FAU. I got to get out of here. Go somewhere where there's going to be some winning going on.
Yeah, yeah, high school and both JUCO. Yeah, he did a lot of winning.
Nice. All right. Running back from St. Thomas Aquinas, Jaden Desir.
That boy got rings. Not rings, yes. A ring. He got rings.
Yeah, all they do is win down there.
Yeah, and this was one of those quick turnarounds because I saw his offer about a week ago because you see at commit date, the item in parentheses represents the time from offer to the time to publicly acknowledged commitment. So literally a week. And I'd imagine, and this is just me speculating, that Coach Gray and the assembled staff did some digging. And Coach Gray mentioned during his interviews that there are some players that may have been overlooked or just that the portal frenzy at the higher levels have pushed players down that haven't received the attention, or maybe even the scouting that they would get from the recruiting services that may not have belied their actual talent. So I'm assuming that this is one of the folks that he did win a championship at St. Thomas Aquinas, but he also was very well heralded at American Heritage Delray Beach. And they're now competing. I think American Heritage Delray Beach is now competing in the Sunshine State Athletic Association. And they made it to the semifinals last year, and then he transferred to St. Thomas Aquinas. And even at St. Thomas Aquinas, he doesn't have big stats. And he may have been, I don't know, maybe they're just so talent-laden that they didn't utilize him as much. But you can see the talent on the film in terms of being a dual threat running back, in terms of being able to run and catch.
Yeah, their quarterback did a lot of running. I think they had a freshman quarterback, freshman or sophomore, but he did a lot of running. So
now was he the primary back at Aquinas, or did they run like a 2-back?
Well, as you can see, they run spread. They run a varied, but they have a lot of athletes, so they don't feature one guy. If that's what, to answer your question, they don't feature one guy all the time.
Right.
Right. And that's their freshman quarterback, thin kid. He could play, but he was learning. Ooh. And they played a top notch. They do that every year. Top notch schedule. They play a national schedule.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
Kenya asked a great question. Have we signed any other players directly from St. Thomas Aquinas out of high school? Marcus, do you recall, Kelvin?
A couple of years ago, I can't remember his name, but we did. I think it was a DB. But we have signed one straight out of high school, but not often.
Rarely.
Right.
Yeah, not often. I could tell you in a hot second. Let me see.
Yeah, I think it was under Willie regime. But I wonder if this kid is related to the two kids over at Florida State, the Sear brothers, because they were talking about jumping in the portal, and I know they from down south too. They went to New Orleans, but I just wonder if he's a kid in them.
Let's see what we offered. We did get a commitment from a linebacker from Thomas Aquinas, but I don't think it's Avery Huff. He was a transfer. I don't think he ever showed up. He's the only person that I have so far. I know we've got backfield.
All right. Jaden Desir. Good stuff. Nice size. 6'5", 6 foot, 205.
Oh, yeah. And he must have had a growth spurt because his profile at Delray Beach was like 5'9", 195. So he got big. So you could see kind of I don't know where we'd fit. I guess he's a little bit bigger than
okay,
he's not quite Terrell Jennings.
Hitman gave it. He said Khalil Hunter was the kid.
Oh, that's right. I don't know why I have
the kid from Aquinas.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's at Valley now.
Sure is.
That's not the wide receiver, is it?
No, he was
a DB,
linebacker.
Linebacker. Okay.
6'1", 205. So he was kind of on the smaller side.
Wide receiver Jalen Lurie from right out the backyard, Florida State University. Excuse me. I guess they go that name now. It's always Florida High for me.
Kid went over 1,000 yards this year.
Mm-hmm. As you can see, he got voted Tallahassee QB Club Peter Warwick wide receiver of the year, and also made first team.
Okay. And Florida High played one of them St. Thomas. They didn't have the St. Thomas depth and size, but they played the St. Thomas schedule because they played Thomas County Central, and their schedule was pretty ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. And what's missing here is his first his All Big Ben team accolades. So I have to add that to it. I thought that was already on here, but he also made first team offense for the Tallahassee Democrat All Big Ben.
I'm still trying to figure out why Thomas County Central wasn't national champs. I don't think they had a game where they didn't beat somebody by less than 20 points.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll find out why I'm talking about Thomas County Central shortly.
These are some clips of young Mr. Lurie, Jalen Lurie. Nice post route.
Kid can play.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Just sits down on it, turns and goes. He gone.
Yeah. Love to see it. And there's another kid I don't know, another local kid. I don't know if he's signed officially yet. I know he was committed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was looking for that too. Yeah, Malik Denmark.
He's a burner. He's a burner. He's a deep threat.
Now I don't know. Did Lincoln have a signing day today? I hadn't
seen anything, so I don't know.
Okay. And actually, I'm kind of surprised. Before I went out, I was checking about the South Florida Sun Sentinel and the Miami Herald, and usually they have signing day coverage, but I guess they put all their resources into the December one because I didn't see. I saw nary an article because I was checking to see if a defensive lineman from Miami Northwestern signed. I see he did sign, but I was looking for that.
And he's listed at 6 foot, huh?
Mm-hmm. Oh. He a real 6-footer though.
Yeah, I was gonna say he looks the part. He looks the part. Looks the part. And got a nice vertical too. I'd love to see what the measurements are on his vert. They use him well, man. They put him all over the field. They put him in motion. They run him outside. They ran him in the slot.
I'm telling you. For a high school kid to go over 1,000 yards receiving,
that's a lot
on a team that doesn't do a spread or don't do an air raid offense. Yeah, that is a lot.
I mean, how far did Florida High's team go in the playoffs?
Second round, I think.
Yeah, you can pull it up on the.
So that means he played about 10 or 11 games,
right?
So you're talking,
but I think
an average of 100 a game.
Yeah, I think he went over 1,000 though. Prior
before
to
the playoffs.
Before the playoffs, he was right at it. If he didn't,
good stuff, man. Impressive young man. Excited to see Excited to see him join the family. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. He was one of the ones I was concerned about because he committed to Coach Colsey's staff. So I was worried. I don't say worried. That's a little strong. But we're just curious about who was going to remain or who was going to be in the favor of the new coaching staff.
Yeah. All right, offensive lineman Corbett Yarborough.
All right, so this is
Orange Park.
Yep. So this is a good pickup considering, Coach Gray talked about making sure everything starts at the line, and we know that we've lost at least 2 or 3 linemen due to graduation. And also one of the 2 linemen that signed early rescinded his letter of intent and went to another conference school. So assuming that Jordan Davis still remains in the fold, right now between Corbett Yarborough and Jordan Davis, those are our 2 high school offensive linemen. As you can see, he made the Clay County all-county football team, first team. And they did make the playoffs this year, but I'd imagine that the coaches see potential in him, perhaps getting some early development.
He actually started following me a couple of weeks ago out of the blue.
It's a mauler, man.
Yeah, we're gonna need that.
Oh, for sure.
High motor. Stick with it. Stick with it. That's right. Push him back down. I love it. That's the way offensive lineman is supposed to be.
Just drive a guy right off the screen.
Yeah. Play long gone. He ain't watching the play. He don't give a damn about the play.
No, hey, he's gonna do his job. Look, he kicks out and just creams a guy. Just
out of bounds. That's my kind of lineman. I love his tape.
He's a guard too. Looks like most okay. He's even does a little bit of everything. Was a center, was a guard. I think they showed a couple clips there as a tackle. That's encouraging. You see a guy who can kind of be a multiple position guy.
And this is a high school guy, man. You don't see that mentality typically at that level. So, man, this kid probably gonna be developed into something big.
You ain't touching the quarterback with that guy right there. Love that. Good stuff, man. All right, good stuff, man. Nice job, Corbett Yarbrough. Again, he's another one. Yeah, it's right out of Duval. Fleming Island is right there out of Duval. Oh, yeah. So he plays everything, man. I'm looking at some of the, the clips still rolling here. He was definitely a tackle. Was also a guard, center. So multi-use guy. Good pickup. 6'6", 282. Great size. Not just great good size, great size.
Yeah.
All right. Linebacker Jaden Roper, Shamadad Madonna. Another one of those powerhouses down
Powerhouse. South. Yep.
And this is one of the surprises too. Because usually every year there's at least like 4 or 5 surprise people like, okay, when were they talking to him? Well, yeah, and this was one of them. And as you can see, accolades. They were state finalists this year, lost to Cardinal Newman in the title game, and they won it last year for Class 1A. There's some names that you almost always expect to at least make it to the semifinals, state semifinals. Whether it's Aquinas, whether it's Shamadad, Madonna, or schools like that, just are pretty much roll out and they're going to make it to the final. And he made the all Broward team, first team defense this year, and made honorable mention last year in 2024. And so, he's coming in at 6'1", 207. So I'd imagine he'll probably get in the mix, probably special teams, maybe behind, depending on, what kind of scheme we run. But he's bringing some talent.
Yeah, he's a bit of a tweener, which is probably, also why he may not have, along with being a high school kid, why he may not have had more offers at the FBS level. But that's the kind of kid, again, you bring in a tough, physical, fast guy and put a few pounds on him and let him go hunt.
Mm-hmm. In schools like Chaminade, they're Class 1A, but they don't shy away from any of the South Florida teams.
They play St. Thomas. They play IMG.
That clip was just them playing St. Thomas right there.
Yeah. They play all. And people don't realize it wasn't St. Thomas or the top rated school in the state. It was Chaminade originally. Yeah. So they're a smaller classification, but they like you said, they play all the big boys.
You see, they were playing West Boca, and Boca is the
one. They went undefeated.
Yeah, they're back-to-back Class 6A state titleists. So they're not messing around in terms of their schedule, and they're still one of the top teams in this whole state, not just in their classification.
Correct.
And I think every once in a while they play somebody from out of state too.
Yeah, they play a national schedule. I watched them play. Was it one of the California teams? Yeah, but yeah, they play a national schedule.
So we're seeing dividends, and we've made offers, and I think we had a defensive back on him down a couple of years ago. And I don't know if he played much. He jumped in the portal. But even in the short time that the new staff has been assembled, you're seeing making inroads at schools that we typically haven't really had much success, maybe one or two trickles, if any. And I know we've made offers in the past, but it's typically to the top players, and it's more
kids at programs who used to winning.
Yes.
Just reading here from the Football Central signing day page. Jaden in his senior season posted 61 tackles, 20 tackles for loss, 7.5 sacks, plus an interception and a pass breakup. First team All-Dade and 1A 2-3A Defensive Player of the Year recognition. All right, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, who we got next up?
Jason Duclona, I mentioned him earlier. He has a brother, Joshua, who I think we offered in class of 22. I don't think we offered him. I have to go back and look. Did a quick browsing of the pit. But he's coming over from East Tennessee State, whereas he started out in Central Florida. He's from the Southwest Florida area, Estero, around Fort Myers area, and was rated a 3-star player coming out of high school. And so once again, he had some experience depth, and actually some of the clips from his YouTube looked like this year against the University of Tennessee and some of the other competitions. So I'd imagine he's coming in, probably as a projected starter.
Nice length.
Mm-hmm.
What's the size on him again?
6'1", 1.8.
6'3".
Okay.
Nice.
At least that's what it's when you started the video, that's what it said.
That's what it said. Okay. Yeah, I guess against Tennessee, he was all over the place, huh? Got a lot of work in against Tennessee.
Yeah. The good thing is he was a sure tackler.
Amen. Hey,
we sure could have used that.
We sure. Yeah. Hey, you said that. You thinking exactly what I was thinking. Oh wow, somebody who tackles. Woo. Love it. The DB that wraps up.
That looked like that Bethune play that we broke down, where the running back bounced outside and the DB had angle, and Steve was saying, "Well, the dude got speed," and I'm like, "Man, if you dive and trip him up, he going out of bounds." That's what I was talking about, Mr. Kelvin.
There's your example. Boy, he probably had about 10 tackles against Tennessee. I bet he put in a lot of work in that game. All right. Good stuff. All right. All right. This is one of those. I gotta say, this is probably a surprise.
I love
to some
it,
degree. Got tipped off to this one this morning, and I sent this to you guys, and I was like, "Whoa, big time pickup."
Yeah, this is definitely an area of need. I was hoping for a little bit more, but I guess depending on how. Plus, it's the first day, so you never know how things are going to play out with the portal or any late signees. But yeah. Roderick McFadden came on, that clip that you sent from 305 Sports, really kind of gave a good history of him and he named a Miami-Dade Player of the Year for Class 3A for their all area football team or all day football team. And he made third team defense last year, coming off a championship, but just to have someone of that size, and we all know and we all saw how porous the run defense was this year in terms of, and it was just an area of weakness the last 2 years.
No pressure. Yeah. Absolutely. I agree, Mr. Campbell. But he might be a better athlete. Same motor, but he may be a better athlete. He seems to have explosive first step.
Mm-hmm. And so once again, this may be one of those and under-recruited players who may not have gotten the attention that his talent
Tweener
should have. Mm-hmm.
They look at those metrics, and when you don't have the height, and you're a high school kid, they tend to overlook you.
I agree 100%. Campbell and Dexter, General Hunt comparisons. I remember watching General Hunt's huddles and kind of joking with Coach Simmons when we did a kind of post thing with him a few years ago, and just joking with him and tell him there's nothing about this young man that's gentle. Just watching his highlights, and I get the same vibe from Broderick.
He's disruptive, man.
Yes.
And then Northwest is one of those teams. They play top-notch competition. So,
and that means, like you said, you pointed it out, Marcus. I mean, obviously, he was a part of a runner-up this year, a state champion a year ago. So he's played in big games, big-time games.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a beautiful swim move, man. You can tell he'd been to somebody's camp and worked on that.
Be like, young man, just go eat. Get back there as best as you can. Go eat.
He got great technique, though. That surprised me at the high school level. They have the leverage and the technique he's using.
Yeah, we got to find out what his tie, what the tie to. Is this a South Florida tie, Billy Roll connection? Is this what is it? Because, yeah, like you said, this young man looks like one of those under-recruited gems.
I'm sure them linemen like, ain't no way he can get to our running back. He can't move that fast, and boom, he right there.
Well, and these are the huddle clip. The other video that's floating, and we retweeted it because I know what's our guy Rattler Pitt had posted it, and it's on Facebook.
It's also on Instagram. Is that the one from 305 Sports?
Yes, that's the one that's like it's more field level, and when you can see his size and his stature and his quickness, you're like, oh, because the huddle cam doesn't. It only does half the justice of showing you what this guy can do.
I tell you what translates from this film at our level, you better get a body on him. If you mess around and miss him or don't block him, he's gonna be hell in the backfield.
Yeah. Yeah, I think 310 is being real nice, being real generous. That's all I'm gonna say. 310. Yeah, sure. All right. Here was one that came in late, almost just before the show kicked off. Former Godby High School running back and Vanderbilt transfer Chase Gillespie, class of 2022, signs with the Rattlers. Now this is the one, Marcus. I tried to do the spread justice and make sure I hit all the right spots. I don't think that I don't know if that's you added that YouTube link. I don't think that YouTube link is.
No, I didn't add.
Okay, so then that's an old one. I didn't replace it, but yeah, coming out of high school though, he was a 3-star prospect, number 17 all-purpose back in the country, according to Rivals. In his sophomore year, you can see there he ran for 1,400 yards. His junior year, he ran all-purpose over 1,000 yards, and then as a senior, had 1,184 all-purpose yards and 15 touchdowns. And that was all going, light bulb goes off, 3-star prospect going to Vanderbilt. And at Vanderbilt, had some decent seasons, only played 4 games his freshman year.
To save his red shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then as a sophomore, he played in all 12 games. Didn't really rack up any kind of significant numbers at all. As a junior, he played in 11 of 12 games, only rushing for 15 times. So you can kind of see, not a lot of opportunities. And if I recall, Vanderbilt doesn't have his 2025 numbers, but I did see something on ESPN, and he only played 1 game at during the past year. So here's a young man who's coming back home. He's listed as a senior, but he very well could have a red shirt.
Yeah,
he should.
Yeah, he got a red shirt. Yeah.
Yeah, and he only played 1 game last year, so
yeah,
I don't know if that was due to injury, but
yeah, if it's due to injury, you could have another red shirt. But that's speculation.
Yeah. All right. Marcus said we got some unsigned verbals now.
Yeah, and actually a couple of them moved. Tian Weish. Well, you can go through them.
Oh, I mean, I can pull the new one. So if let me see how quickly I can do it.
Well, I mean, his bio is there. I put it in anticipation of him signing, but it's just not grouped in with it. There's just an update in the graphic. And I got that updated already on.
Did you update that? Because I don't look
no,
at it.
Not on that one. I updated it on the one. Excuse me, on the one that I have on my computer before I uploaded it.
Oh, on yours? Okay. Shoot.
But the bio is there. For Tian Weish, paywalls being what they are, I didn't get an opportunity to see if he made the Super 24 or the all area team for the Florida Times Uni to Jacksonville. So I don't know that as of yet. I didn't see anything in his Twitter profile or post that indicate that he made an all-area team, but that doesn't mean he didn't.
Let me find Weiss here. Weiss is slide 31. Let's work backwards, going back towards going backwards with these guys since we're here at Weiss, Marcus.
Okay, so he's actually assuming the younger relation of Tion Weiss, who is a running back that Quinn Gray had at Albany State, and they're both coming out of Mandarin High School.
And where is he?
What do you mean? Oh, his brother?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. He did jump in the portal.
He did jump in the portal. That's why I asked. And I don't believe he's committed anywhere though.
Not that I've seen. I haven't really checked, but I didn't see anything pop up.
Okay.
And I'll find out. I think Tion got an offer in early January, so it's maybe around the 25-day mark from an offer to a commitment today. But I'll have that updated. So once again, he brings some size and some talent. And we did have a couple high school surprises. You can go on to the next one. Jermaine Dennis actually received, and I haven't updated it yet because I didn't see it until he committed, but actually was made a PWO offer in early January as well. And so he committed, so he'll add some depth and some championship experience to the Rattler secondary. He's more of an athlete because some of his highlights include offense and defense. I just haven't listed him as an athlete, but I know here he's committing as a defensive back.
Undefeated, Thomas County Central, and I believe this was their second state championship in 3 years. I think they lost it last year. I mean, they won it this season. The season before, I think they lost it, and then the year before that, I think they won it. But they were absolutely dominant this year.
Yes. And you can tell the chat, calm down. We're getting to it. So Jalen Johnson, quarterback from Thomas County Central, I believe. I think as Kelvin said earlier, he's only lost like 2 or 3 games in the last couple of years. Wow. And this is one of the surprising signs. I know Allison Posey and others, us included, were wondering in terms of all the championship level and high caliber programs just across the state line, how is it that we're not getting players from Thomasville Central, Valdosta, Colquitt County, just in that general area, because you look in Brooks County as well. So in terms of, it's good to see that we're making some inroads in terms of programs that are just across the state line. And until I looked at the state map, and once again, as I said before, I think last week, 2 weeks ago, I never really looked at the southern part of Georgia, especially since from the Atlanta area. But I didn't realize the proximity of. I knew Thomas County was close, but I didn't realize how close Colquitt and Brooks County were to the state line, and just making sure that you can get talent from those areas. And he's a big guy too. So we have, think about it, you have 2 quarterbacks, if I remember correctly, he's got 6'3", 225. Let me check real quick while you're looking at the highlights.
And let me tell you something. This is a 4-year starter. Like is Thomas County Central, I think, record over the last 3 years at least, they've lost a total of maybe 3 games. And they play South Georgia football, so that means they play a lot of really, really good teams. Plus, they play Tallahassee and Lincoln, the best team in this area, pretty much every year, or Florida High. Crush them all. Don't matter. So I'm still trying to figure out, frankly, I think this is a really big steal. When you have a quarterback who has the metrics and has won as much as this kid has won, I just think it's big.
Yeah, and Allison's a big fan of him. I know even before and during early signing day, she was lamenting the fact that he wasn't getting seemingly much traction. And I'm glad, and we actually offered him back in May. So he was offered, under the old staff. And it seemed like, kind of in terms of a late offer based on what he's done as a high school quarterback, even before the season started, because they went to the third round of the state semis last year in Class 5A. And I saw a post from Max Preps in December rating the top 10 highest rated classifications. I think it was the top 10 or 12 classifications that they, in their estimation, in Georgia Class 5A and Class 6A, a couple Texas, a couple California classifications. And I think there's like 3 or 4 from Florida, 2 or 3 from Florida, 2 or 3 from Georgia, 2 from Texas. And I think we had offers across at least a few of them.
Did you just see him run and punish that safety for even getting in his face? He's a bit physical kid too, but he has arm talent. He can make all the throws. Yeah.
So you just think about between Quinn and the new quarterback coach, working with him, working with James Hayes, both around the same size, and then working with Armand Parker. And I haven't seen official signing yet. I know he's committed, and I don't know if he's already enrolled on campus, but they just didn't do that, or how. I know sometimes in the past, we haven't announced players that may be preferred walk-on. So I don't know what category.
Or he could be just still being cleared. It's a couple of things, but I know that one of his coaches is already hyped this up like he signed. So I don't know. Well, he just said,
All right.
The next couple, I think, next couple we've gone over before, and these were names that popped up as having committed, but we just haven't seen the announcement today. So I don't know if any transpired, and that's why I have them in this category of the clock is ticking, because we don't know what the status happens to be. And the other is Denzel Johnson, who was a committed transfer from Alabama State, played under our new defensive coordinator, Ryan Davis, and actually had some interest, and he's a Chaminade Madonna graduate, had some interest back during the old coaching staff.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Malik Denmark out of Tallahassee Lincoln. So, hopefully things will come through. And I know sometimes in the past couple of years, we've had some that were approved the next day. So, maybe Thursday or Friday, that were officially announced. So we'll just have to wait and see. But that's why I have them under this category. And same here. Committed in early January, but just haven't seen an official announcement.
Mr. Campbell tells us Armand is in class. So who knows? Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know why we haven't gotten a signing day thing for him.
Yeah. So this was the big mystery today. So I had to put him under the clock is ticking, because if I remember correctly, his was like the first or second post.
It was very early in the morning.
Mm-hmm. And then, links were broken. If you try to go back to the post. So
yeah, they're gone. It's on. He retweeted it, but who knows? Maybe, I don't know what's going on. Maybe we'll have some clarification tomorrow. I add that as my second question to ask Coach tomorrow. Be like, Coach, what's the status with Knowles? And at this point, I guess he probably can't really say anything. You got to say, Coach, there's a quarterback that was expected to be I don't know. How do you word that? How do you word that, Marcus? Maybe you're an expert at handling that. How do you word that without divulging, so you don't trap the coach into saying a name? How do you ask?
Wait, sure, Coach Gray wouldn't say a name. You just ask, are there any your former players that you expect to be here that are forthcoming?
Right.
Well, I don't know if you can say that either. That might be a little tricky, but
yeah, are there any players on campus that we're still? Why didn't we see a sign?
Are there any more pending signings that are being processed?
Okay.
Because that's what generally what it comes down to. You know, you have to get cleared by the NCAA and before you post officially on your official university sites and stuff, and all in compliance, all the I's dotted, T's crossed, enrolled in class, all that good stuff.
Okay. The decommits, Marcus. You even go so far as tell us who the decommits are.
Yeah, the people who previously committed verbally. And we'll have to spend a lot of time on this, but that young man, he signed with Akron, Lorvins Barthélemy. The previous young man, Tyger Starks, I believe he signed with Alabama A&M. Alante Reese, I believe he signed with East Tennessee State. TJ Cole, he signed with Morgan State today.
Okay.
He and another player, I think, from Reign signed. I think Cedric Kelly's still open. I saw a tweet from a week ago that he was he hadn't had any contact with the coaches at FAMU, so he was decommitting. And Shamari Bowens, I got a tip today that he signed with Bethune-Cookman. So I'm assuming he took advantage of the coaching transition. Players can rescind their NLI or during a coaching transition, and also players who are on the existing roster have like a 30-day window outside of the regular transfer window if there's a coaching change where they can make themselves available to the portal. And actually, he made Miami Herald first team all day as well. So I was really looking forward to him. So I was a little disappointed that he got away, but
Well, and that's my only critique of I think coach has done a phenomenal job. I love the mix of transfer and high school. I love the quality. I love the length, the size. They all have the metrics, and they come from winning programs. I just think we're gonna need more depth, more. I think we're great and stacked at the skill positions. We're gonna need more trench people on both sides.
Yeah, I agree, and that's the one thing I was looking forward to, because just from the commitments we've seen over the last couple of weeks, a lot of skill, even in the back end, even a couple at linebacker. But let's put it like this: I expect that Coach Gray has something in his back pocket in terms of how he's going to address the depth of the line, because he made a point to emphasize that when he was on interview. So I expect that he has something up his sleeve for that. But yeah, I was hoping that Mr. Bowens would make, and also have on the no man's land list. We don't have to go through that, but the other Anthony Bell, who's the offensive lineman from Miami Northwestern and committed to us. I was looking at the Miami Herald to try to see, if they had a signing day or at least announced who signed, because I was wondering if there was still communication between him and the new staff, even though he committed to the old staff, to see if he was also going to come on board. And he made Miami Herald all first team, class 1A, 3A, all Dade County as well.
I can answer this question from Steve: the breakdown of portal versus the I'm assuming he said high school players.
Yeah.
12 to 7. 12 portal, 7 high school.
Mm-hmm. And actually the first couple hours of the announcements were players that we already knew that were were coming on board. And then we started getting surprises maybe just a little bit before lunch in terms of names we hadn't seen before.
Yeah, actually, it may be. I'm sorry, Marcus.
Yeah, I said a lot of the announcements, the initial ones that came out so quick were players that had already committed or had the got 'em graphic. And
yeah, I would say 12-9. 12-9, because I didn't count the two Thomas County kids. So 12-9. Who we got here in no man's land, Marcus? Anybody? We got a couple guys in here.
Well, Anthony Bell's one of them. I don't recall. Let me see. I can pull up my version and see who else. But I think I saw him. I know he got an offer from FIU. Anthony Bell's the one that I was really looking forward to. I didn't update it, but he made first team all day. Malik Hope out of Ruskin. And two Tallahassee kids, Kylan Johnson, and then Devin Anderson. So I don't know where they ended up. And this one I saw on Instagram, but I don't know. I wasn't sure where, the connection was. He's from Bowles, but I don't know. We didn't see any real connection there, so I'm not sure how things went down with that.
Yeah, see, y'all call me crazy because I kept questioning it, but okay. Well, we'll see.
And I couldn't find a picture for him, but he already committed somewhere else. And there's no roster update. So, when spring practice comes around, if they release it and they have new names on there that we haven't already tracked, I'll add that. Yeah, Tim Young has a good question. I don't know in terms of kickers. I mean, it seemed like we had quite a few. We know we lost Daniel Porto to the portal. But it seemed like last year's roster had a couple kickers on there, a couple punters as well. So we don't know if they stayed on or if they quietly slipped away. We'll have to see.
Get Porto to come home. Come home, Porto. Come home.
He's already signed with Coastal Carolina.
Oh.
Yeah, he signed like the first week of January. He signed the same day, I think, that Goldie Lawrence did.
Oh, so he was hot. He was hot and heavy. Hot and one. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, good stuff, Marcus. National Signing Day 2026. Good stuff. Again, you can go to FAMUathletics.com, check out the game, the FAMU Football Signing Day Central. It's a great article. I know Gerald on RattlerNews.com, Tallahassee Democrat, is also keeping track. So, use your mix of one or both to stay up to date with what's going on.
Hubba hubba.
Hubba hubba, exactly. All right. Well, softball season begins this weekend.
Yes.
And the Lady Rattlers were preseason selected in the SWAC to finish number 2. To finish second in the Eastern Division.
Mm-hmm. Even though they got more, they got what? Pitcher of the year preseason and like 6 or 7 first and second team.
Really? I totally read that wrong then. I thought it was number 2 overall. Oh, no, well, that's because Jackson State. Jackson State, right. I forgot. Jackson State is in the East. I'm looking at it now. 11 first place votes. FAMU got 7 first place votes. Alabama State, 3 first place votes. So, and again, FAMU's won the Eastern Division the last 2 years.
I love it.
We don't play anybody in the West, well, worth a doggone. There's no crossover. So this is old school SWAC. All Eastern Division play Eastern Division, Western play Western, and see what it looks like come tournament time. And I'll say what I've said the last couple of years, the East is the best division.
No doubt.
So, Prairie View.
I'll say it right now. The champion's gonna come out the East again.
Yeah, probably.
Now I will say, I know when Kayla Adams jumped in the portal right after actually is either just after or during the SWAC tournament I was like, I was hoping we would get her. She left UAPB and went to PV. But I'm telling you, if we would have gotten her, our pitching lineup would have been like the 90s Braves. It would have been awesome. And not to say that, and this is not to diminish, anyone that's currently on the team or anything like that, but adding her to what we already have, with Samantha Smith returning, Amari Brown, and then our Raya, it would have been deep.
Speaking of Brown, Amari Brown, she was selected as the preseason pitcher of the year.
But Zoriana she's second. Mario was voted second team preseason, and Zoriana Hughes is first team.
Yeah, it's crazy. So Zoe was preseason pitcher of the year last year.
Year before, a freshman year.
Well, she wouldn't have been freshman year. They don't usually give it. I said preseason. She was the pitcher of the year her freshman year.
Oh, preseason.
Yeah, she was the pitcher of the year her freshman year.
Right.
She was the preseason pitcher of the year last year. This year, Amari gets preseason pitcher of the year. But then, like you said, preseason first team pitcher is Zoe. Amari makes second team. I don't understand what the SWAC voters are doing. I mean, no shade. Look, we all know Amari got screwed out of an award last year. So, okay, if this is their penance, then so be it. But,
it's preseason.
It's preseason. I ain't gonna get all worked up. I'll resist the urge. I'll resist the urge to get all worked up.
Yeah,
I won't do that. I won't do that. But in talking about this upcoming season, again, the ladies travel to Campbell University in Buies. Is it Buies Creek or Buies Creek? Buies Creek?
Bowie.
Okay, Buies Creek, North Carolina, home to the Campbell University Camels. And we play Howard University in game number 1, noon or 12:30 Eastern time. Howard, of course, was selected the MEAC preseason favorite to win the MEAC. So it's a good opportunity, good test for the Rattlers, and who knows what the temperature is going to be like.
Cold.
And later, cold.
Yeah, very cold. Day in the mountains.
Later in the afternoon, they play Campbell at 6:30. Then they do a doubleheader and same schedule on Saturday. Howard first and Campbell second. And then crazy enough, on Sunday, they play Tennessee Tech. Don't ask me why we couldn't play Tennessee Tech any of the other games, but so be it. So there it is.
Yeah.
Let's see. Eria's got anything? Let's see what did Eria say. Oh yeah, Eria says not all the series in the East are home and home. So they're even shortening. That's crazy. What are we doing in the SWAC? What are they doing? Anyway, bigger discussion for another day.
Well, the coaches voted that way. Once they voted, it is in effect for 2 years. So this year they can change it after this season. I hope they do like baseball and just eventually play everybody once.
Yeah. That would be ideal. Playing everybody once. Okay. What else we got?
I don't know how we in the East and our rival we only play once. That makes no sense, and it's away.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
The beginning tomorrow, the SWAC Roundup number 2 for bowling is taking place.
Mm-hmm.
And, we had Coach Williams on the show a couple weeks ago and gave us the kind of rundown on that. I believe it's Birmingham, Alabama, where this bowling tournament is supposed to be held. Correct, Kelvin?
Huntsville, I thought.
Huntsville. I'm sorry, I don't say Birmingham, Huntsville, Alabama.
Yeah.
All right. So with another good showing, the Rattlers may find themselves in the tournament, in the SWAC Bowling Championship tournament.
Yeah.
So if you're in the Huntsville area, make plans to be there to support. Also, track and field.
Yep.
Taking off and heading to the Windy City of Chicago.
Go break some more records.
Yeah, more records. What do we got? What did we do this past weekend? If anybody pull up or have what we did this past weekend?
Yeah. Yes.
Let's see. School records fall at the Bob Pollock Invitational. This according to this courtesy of FAMUathletics.com.
Mm-hmm.
On the women's side, senior DeAndre Gaines had a personal best of 23.8 in the 200 meters. Freshman Janari Kinchin had a personal best of 24.01. Just skimming the article, trying to see where I can find those school records. I know a lot of people had some personal best.
On the men's side.
It was on the men's side where the school records fell.
Yeah, the hurdles in the 100.
In the men's hurdles, the 60-meter hurdles, Leonard Mastari. Is that what you're talking about? Had a 7.7, and Joseph DeRosier had a 7.72.
Yeah, they burn it up, man. Darren and Lawrence.
SWAC was a track athlete of the week.
Personal best 20.96 in the 200. 20.96 already indoor. That is smoking, buddy.
Yeah. Anything on the women's side other than the couple of names I mentioned?
Well, I mean, you had some that was close to their personal best, or top 2 or 3 with HBCUs, man. But what this team collectively is putting up on the men and women's sides right now is amazing, and that's still not at full strength.
Yeah.
But we'll have Coach on the show next week to try to drop some nuggets.
Okay, good stuff. Coach G joining us next week. Love that. Love it. Always love to talk to Coach. Well, I think the other mention, let's see, is golf doing anything this week? As I look at the calendar of events, track, softball, no. Well, obviously the obvious is, as it relates to basketball, the men and women will look to end some 3-game losing streaks, beginning with the women who will be taking on Prairie View A&M on Thursday, 6:30 Eastern time on Swag TV. Seems like an earlier start than normal, but I don't have Prairie View's record here in this article, but
they're at the bottom, ain't they?
Oh, I got the swag.
With Valley. They down there with Valley, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's see, I got the SWAC website pulled up. I'll go right to the standings. Again, we're at the halfway point of the conference. We are sitting.
I thought you said Prairie View.
Well, I was just mentioning we are tied for sixth at 4-5 with Arkansas, Pine Bluff, and Jackson State. Yeah, actually, Prairie View is winless. They're actually worse than Valley, worse than Bethune.
Yeah.
So we can't.
That's a game we gotta win.
No pressure. No pressure. I hate to.
It's pressure. It's pressure on this one. We gotta win that one.
Yeah, we have to win that one. And then the Saturday doubleheader is against Texas Southern. The women, their game starts at 4:00 Eastern. The men, 30 minutes after the conclusion of the women. So you're probably looking somewhere between 6:30-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Texas Southern's women just one game in front of us. So, who knows? Depending upon them winning against Bethune, us taking care of business, we could be one game behind them. So the margins are real thin.
Yeah, I mean, if we were able to sweep, we'll add a tiebreaker with them, because I don't think we go to the Texas schools.
No. And then the men play the evening or the late game against Texas Southern. Texas Southern, they are 4-5. So one game behind us, not room to be bragging or being boastful. We got to get a win.
Got to defend home court.
Got to defend home court, as you said.
Yeah.
And then Prairie View is tied. They too are 4-5. So you've got two teams that'll be coming into the weekend at 4-5 in Texas Southern and Prairie View, and we're at 5-4. So this is one of those weekends where we can start to give a little separation between, the other two programs.
And it's the beginning of the second half of the SWAC season. So
there you go. That part right there. That part right there.
Let's go, Rattlers.
Let's go. Let's go. Be in the house. Pack the pit. Let's continue to build on the home attendance numbers. They are going up. And so
I'm gonna miss them. I'm gonna miss the women tomorrow because I'm at work. I'm in South Florida, but I'll be back Friday, so I'll catch a double header on Saturday, and of course be at the game on Monday.
All right. Sounds good. Hopefully the Rattler Nation will be there. Good crowd. Let's have a great crowd. Let's be loud. Let's keep building. Let's keep packing the pit. There you go. All right. Well, guys, good stuff today. Great stuff, man. Really fun day. There will be a press conference with the media tomorrow morning at 10. So make sure you're following, Gerald Thomas. I'm sure he'll be there. Allison Posey, friends of the program, both of them, I'm sure will be there. Sometimes Keith and I are able to sneak away from our other jobs to be there and cover. So, if not, I would tell you your best follows are going to be Gerald or Allison, because both of them I've seen tweet during those things. So be on the lookout. Follow Gerald and And make sure you're following Allison Posey as well. Gerald Thomas at 3PG is where you can find him, I believe. But we'll see. Maybe we'll have it'll give us a chance to have some commentary about it going into next week. And we'll see who else signs. So we'll add to the list that Marcus has created. All right, fellas. Think I got everything right?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. All right. Good stuff. Hey, thank all of you in the chats, wherever you're watching. Hit the thumbs up and the like button if you're watching still on Instagram Live. If you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on YouTube, do us a solid and hit that thumbs up and the like button if you would. You know, hate to ask, but I got to. And then do us one more follow, one more favorite. BCSN Pod Zone, the podcast that aggregates all of the shows on the Black College Sports Network. We've got everything from coaches' shows to our show to the sports wrap on Sundays, Dr. Cavill's shows during the middle of the week, Carlos Brown on the weekends. Lots of great content. Download, subscribe, rate, and review if you get an opportunity. It's much appreciated. So that's going to be it. Got to thank Vaughn Wilson again for joining the show. Go check out our interview with Vaughn back in hour one, bottom of hour one. Good conversation with him. And, of course, for the guys, Marcus and Kelvin, I'm Bryan. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you for being subscribers. Thank you for being loyal supporters of the O&G StrikeZone. And we will see you next week. Have a great weekend. Congrats, things up. And make sure to strike, and strike again, everybody. Peace out.
Thank you.